By law, when you liquidate a company, it simply means you are winding up a company. That's the end of the company. The job of the liquidator is to go and sell the assets and end the company, come to Parker and tell them this company does no longer exist, we liquidated it. You cannot go on a liquidation and at the same time appoint a management to run the company as a going concern. Lungu is a lawyer and he should know that, and he knows that, but is being motivated by crookedness, where he wants that liquidator to run the company so that they can steal from the proceeds of copper at Konkola copper mines. Because what law is supporting Lungu to run a company that is under liquidation? There's no law. So I wrote to him in earnest. He goes to the airport in Ndola. Oh, they're writing to me. We are going ahead. Go ahead. Because this country is not lawlessness. And when you are president, it does not mean you have got the absolute power to do what you can do. You have to follow the law. And if the law is liquidation, go and liquidate the company. He made the mistake in the first beginning. But the problem that Lungu has, when you advise him, he gets upset. You should have respect for the people that elected you as president. But that is how people who are crooked behave. When you tell them the truth, they get upset. So this issue of Konkola copper mines, Mr. President, if you have ears here, I am warning you, because when I take over, Chimbokaila, Ekokai. Because you can't run a country like the extension of your own bedroom. It doesn't work out that way. Now, as regards the question that you have asked me, he says FCI is speculation. You and I know that for the purpose of reporting, they don't mention names. But the FCI have got the actual names. So if Lungu wants to know who are among his ministers are mentioned in the FC, it's a question of just calling Mrs. Chilo and she'll give him the names. But because this man is full of protecting thieves in his government, because I've said he's also part of the corruption. You cannot fight corruption when you're corrupt yourself. And this is what President Lungu has shown us. He has no ability, he has no intention, because he's also, you know where I come from, following them to advise the newlywed. So Lungu, what he's doing, is scared of talking about corruption because he's corrupt himself. It's as simple as that. So he cannot trust in the FCI report. Already Mwanza was attacking it, Antonio Mwanza. That's what they did even last year. But that will not help you. Political power is very short. If Kaunda waletila kumulesa, Panch Kaunda aya Mugabe aya, ngaimweba Lungu makanshukwe. 2021, Chawama. There's no who is going to allow him to change the FIC report. Nobody will allow him. Who's going to allow him to change the law? Nobody will allow him. You see what happens with Rupiah ban. He removed the abuse of authority clause in the law. You remember? Immediately Mr. Sata came into power, he reinstated it. So if he's going to remove the law that deals with FIC, we'll wait for him for 2021. We'll reinstate it and arrest him. It's as simple as that. You think we are Lungu Rivalesa? Any other person, whether president, prime minister, so let us not cheat the people of Zambia. No, there will be consultation between FRA and the farmers to come up with a price of maize. I've been in government, there's never such a thing. It is government who fixes the price of maize. Now I'm saying the farmers have been exploited for too long. So he knows the farmers have been exploited and he has not done anything. So he wants to mislead the farmers that this year they are going to get a better price. Insoni ewuntu. Insoni. So bashimwa na balungu ifintu na afimili pila sana shukuru. Ngani nengana lileka. Nomba panti matamwa kwa tansoni. Elo ngata ukwe tensoni. Awa mbatila nishtauli mungu.
Just for purposes of procedure of events, the President of the announcement on the national interest decision that he was going to make in order to protect the interests of the people and the company. Simply put, the liquidator has taken charge and he will tell you exactly what will happen, but to disengage the President from that broad perspective, KCM is too big to fail. Is aware of several other factors that without an intervention, the company would fail. So the President has fulfilled this process, that the due process of the law will have to take place. So the necessary proceedings have been done. So the management has been briefed and will take over, and the unions will make further comments. Mr. Lungu.
Thank you very much, Samuel. So we have served the documents on the mine management. ZCCM-IH, as you know, commenced a petition against KCM. And the grounds of that petition is that they've lost confidence in the manner that the mine and the business and assets are being managed. So on that ground, the petition, the court, that the KCM should be wound up for just and equitable reasons. Following that petition, they applied for a provisional liquidator, and I was appointed to be provisional liquidator. I'll be provisional in the sense that it's an interim measure until a final winding up order is made, if it will be made. So in the meantime, the order that appointed me has vested the assets of KCM in myself. So I'll be continuing to meet the management to see how we are going to proceed from here. But what I would like to assure everyone is that the status quo will continue. The mine will continue operating as it has been operating until obviously the court decides whether the winding up order will be made or not. So I would urge all workers, suppliers, contractors not to be anxious in the interim period, because all measures are being taken to ensure that the transition is seamless. So that is our statement, and thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of worker salaries, obviously, that will be taken care of. I think no one should worry about the workers being paid. We are going to pay the workers as a liquidator. So the emphasis here, what we are saying is that the status quo will continue, probably even better than what was before, but we'll also ensure that there is a seamless transition. The going concern value of the company has to be maintained. For me, that is my primary concern. I've been appointed to ensure that the assets are not dissipated, there is no stripping, and so on and so forth. So it's a holding position, so to say, until the court finally decide on the fate of KCM PLC.
Thank you. The union leaders, if they wish to speak to the media, can proceed. Okay.
Joseph Chair, President Milingo Lungu. We also want to Chair Joseph, President Milingo Lungu, to tell our fellow workers across KCM that the cries, I think we avoid them, and the petition which came through the union, we presented to it, and we know that the failures in KCM need to be taken to another level. So the concerns have been made in terms of the workers. What we want to urge our fellow workers as we look at this transition, once we fikatani tusunge amasets ya mgodi oyo but your investor being intact even the period of transition let's all follow the rules of the company. Let's follow the rules of the company so that no one should lose a job during this transition. Let's report for work early. Let's for
Anyway, Mwebanto, I think that's the gist of it. You obviously heard the backstory of this KCM issue. So it's a problem, or rather a situation that has been going on for a very long period of time. And finally, we heard news coming through with regards to Milingo Lungu being arrested by the DEC. By the way, before we jump into today's episode, right, I just want to remind you to share this video because, you know, it really helps us go a long way. So if you are watching us right now live, kindly take 1 second to share this video. By the way, how are you doing? To be honest with you, for the past 3 days, you know, I was going through the COVID blues because I recently got my COVID vaccination and I was down a little bit. My ears are paining right now, but I'm still here. So this is one of the reasons why we didn't have ZESCO for the past few days, because but we are back at it again. So yeah, kindly share this video on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook groups, because that really helps ZESCO do its thing. And please let us know where you are watching us from. Please let us know, because you need to represent your city. And I really want to say thank you to all the people who reached out to me and said, Bamuna Munikuisa, we've been missing you. I really appreciate, because it really seems you guys are putting me in your prayers. So that is very good. So you obviously see the different questions that we are going to be going through, or rather the different topics. So I really need to hear your opinions, and you definitely need to give us your thoughts and just basically what you think about the different topics that we have. So we have lined up all the different topics and the questions. Please let us know, because your feedback is very important, because we need to find out what you, the citizens of Zambia, feel about all these different opinions. So as usual, the lines are going to be open. If you want to be part of this particular program, please check the link which is pinned in the comment section. You're going to find the link to join us. So right now I have Brother Oscar coming through from Italy. Good evening. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Good evening, Muna. How are you?
I've been good. We've been missing in action for the past 3 days. Hey,
Exactly. You can see how people, I think, are now used. I received some calls from friends here in Italy and friends in Zambia. They're saying, "Well, what is happening? We are used not to listen to you every day."
Yeah, but anyway, we're only human. But anyway, we are back. So, Brother Oscar, are you geared for today's topics? Today we have a lot on the lineup. We have Milingo Lungu being arrested, and finally the owner of the 48 houses. He was apprehended the other day, if I'm not mistaken. And then we also have obviously the new appointments from President Hichilema. New appointments and some disappointments, some firings going on. For example, ZESCO, there has been a lot of reshuffles. And then recently, President Hichilema has terminated the services of different service commissioners. So those are the topics that we are going to be talking about. And then we're going to be rating the 100 days of the new dawn. And we're also going to be trying to figure out the different questions that Pilato was asking, because he raised some really good, serious questions. So let's start with Milingo Lungu's arrest. What do you think about this particular situation?
Mr. Muna, anyway, thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to take this occasion, Mr. Muna, allow me to just greet some friends here in Italy, a very good friend now, a very good number of friends, and also I'd like to greet my friends in the Copper Belt, in Mazabuka, my friends in Lusaka. Especially today, I start with congratulating a gentleman who I know very well, like for his appointment as a permanent secretary to the Ministry of Defense, Mr. Chipakupaku Norman. So
yeah,
I was very, very happy. This gentleman, he deserved. Yeah. He deserved it, and he's worked very hard, actually. Yeah. So back to the question you have asked me, I think, on Milingo Lungu. You know, Mr. Muna, every day we are discovering a lot of scandals. Really, it hurts. It hurts. As being a Zambian, I am a Zambian. It hurts a lot. So, what has happened in the Copper Belt about the Milingo Lungu adventure? I think it's one of those things which have happened countrywide, Mr. Muna. Ministry of Health, Ministry of Lands. I tell you, everywhere it's scandals after scandal. So the thing of Mr. Milingo Lungu, everyone knew, we knew, even the PF themselves, they know these things. What was going on, him being the liquidator, all these things. Even the people, the Zambians who follow the patriotic front, they know. It's absurd. It's absurd what was going on in the Copper Belt around the mines. We are now talking about KCM, Mopani. Then when we go to the mines, the gold mines, all around all these areas, it is scandals after scandals. So I am not surprised. I'm not surprised that this guy has been picked. He is not even professional. First of all, let us just look at the person himself. Before he could be handed such a responsibility, who was he? Mr. Muna, our history tells a lot. Our history tells a lot. Your history, I've been interested in this program, looking at the way of presenting it, professional way of presenting it. Our history speaks louder. So the history of this gentleman is full of dark corners, and I just wonder, I would wonder, when I heard about this story even before, liquidator here, liquidator there, paid that much, not paid, crisis at the KCM, crisis at the Mopani. Gentlemen, my goodness. So,
yes, Brother Oscar, is this gentleman related to Mr. Lungu?
It's a question that I ask myself, but I understand that there is no relation, direct relation. But you never know, Mr. Mona, because you know, even around our president, our former president, you know, we don't know much. We don't know much about the family.
Right.
Yeah. So I wouldn't risk in making assumptions, but I think, as we know, the information that we know, I think there is no relationship, direct relationship. But who knows? Who knows?
Right. So according to this story that we're getting, right, the Drug Enforcement Commission, DC, has again arrested Konkola Copper Mines provisional liquidator Milingo Lungu for theft of 17.2 million kwacha. DEC Public Relations Officer Matthias Kamanga confirmed the arrest, saying the commission has since seized funds amounting to 136 million kwacha. The Drug Enforcement Commission, through its anti-money laundering investigations unit, has arrested the Konkola Copper Mines PLC provisional liquidator Milingo Lungu for theft involving 17.2 million kwacha, contrary to the laws of Zambia. So basically, he's been nabbed for theft of 17.2 million kwacha. So
Yes,
this is the law that they, or rather the crime that he is being arrested for. And we have to thank the new Don government, because he's already out. Is it on bond or on bail? He's already out. So these are the achievements that the new Don has put in. If it was back in the day, I'm sure he would have been languishing in the cells right now.
Yes. He would have been languishing the cells, and you know, there is one thing that I appreciate. We appreciate that they give them bonds if the cases have that possibility. They do give them bonds, or they give them bail. I don't know, but you know, such cases, which are so delicate, because we suspect some of the evidences are being, of course, hidden by these people. So such cases, you know, I just wonder why don't they give them even a house arrest pending investigations? It's a question I was just asking to myself. Anyway, but if it is a case which can be given in bond, I think our president, this gentleman, this genius, I call him genius, President Hakainde Hichilema, he is a genius. I call him a genius because when you are serious with the rule of law and also you are serious with the way a Zambian who has been arrested is being treated, I think very few people have that capability, and our president is one of those gentlemen who really is showing professionality in his services as a president.
Definitely, definitely. So, Brother Moses, you being, I can hear feedback. Who's having feedback in the background? So, yeah, let me just mute that. Brother Moses, you can unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yes. How are you? Good evening. So, what do you think about this new development? And you coming from a very good mining background, right? You know a lot about Zambian mines. What does this entail for the Zambian public, especially the mines? For example, the role that Milingo Lungu was playing. Do you think this is going to have like any impact in the way the mining industry is going to be operating in Zambia? And how does this news affect regular citizens? And how is it going to eventually affect the Zambian coffers in the long run?
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mpombo, if I'm not mistaken. The genius also, I call you a genius together with Mr. Muna. Good evening, all panelists. It is my privilege to give me this opportunity to talk to the Zambians. Thank you. I think this is a very bad attitude which has contributed highly in terms of corruption in this country. Some of the things we complain about development, it is because of having leadership who are selfish, just like him. So it has affected not only those mining in Chingora, may I say Copper Belt, but also here in Northwestern and the whole country. We are having leaders who are selfish, dependent, trying to just earn for their stomach and their families. But this is what I do emphasize every day when we are having conversation on this platform, ZESCO, that we need leaders who has the heart for Zambia, who has got the heart to develop this country, because we are not going to have a leader from other countries, let's say foreigner, to come and develop for this country. No, it starts with us, even from where we are coming from, villages or chiefs. It is us to do the right thing. Then those people comes, may find we have laid a good foundation for us. Just like this new dawn with our new president, our new vice president, and new administration. They are trying by all means to put things in order so that come maybe 2026, 35, somewhere there, whoever is going to come in will find at least a foundation has been laid. It will be just a simple way. Maybe giving an example like this developed country like America and other things, what they look upon is not about maybe infrastructure and the building roads and other things. They just come to implement in investment, like looking at the job creation and how are they going to have a good in terms of business, the way China competes with America. Right now, China has been so strong in terms of economy. That's what they do fight on. Even us, Zambia, we need to move out from this to go at least a second or third place, so that we will be those whoever comes as a reader will be coming and find the foundation has been read, maybe looking at the how am I going to reduce $1 to kwacha, at least fighting in that way, so that as Zambian we will be also counted. I was looking yesterday about the 10 richest country, where South Africa and this called Nigeria and Egypt. These are the most richest country here in Africa. But looking at Zambia, I didn't see Zambia there. But we have got minerals, we have got gods, we have got a lot of things. So these thieves, Clique of Thieves, need to be brought into book, so that even that money should be at least do something in this country. I was thinking about Mr. Muna, the same money they are getting from this Clique of Thieves can also help us to pay the IMF, the credit we are owing them, little by little. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Brother Moses. So, Mr. Simukonda, then we're going to pass it over to the youth advocate. So, Mr. Simukonda, what does this mean? And let's talk about the role that Milingo Lungu was playing as, you know, the provisional liquidator for KCM. What does this mean for Zambia, and what does it basically entail for us?
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay, on that point, I will not comment much because it's not my professional. But what I can say, first of all, I want to concur with the previous presenter there. I'm totally agree. And also the first one, I'm totally agree. Looking at the previous regime, I think for the 10 years, we are ruled by the criminals. Yeah, Clique of Thieves. Yeah, the first of all, if when we talk about development, the first thing we need to have law and order. But looking at the previous regimes, the law and order was broken. So no matter what we can do, we can't see development. Yeah, so first of all, also, I want also to congratulate the president because of the law and order. Yeah, I remember very well when we used to interact with my friend. I used to say that Zambia is a comedy country. It's like the whites there. It's like it's a channel of comedies because of what used to happen in this country. Looking at like what happened at KCM, that is unprofessional. Yeah. That person, when so Mr. Milunga, that one is not even qualified to handle that KCM. But look what happened. We have copper in this country, we have gold in this country. But look what was happening in this country. Totally, that was a disastrous. Yeah. So that 10 years that we were ruled by PF, that was disaster. Yeah, that is what I can say for.
All right, thanks, Brother Simkonda. So, youth advocates, according to the pace that the ACC and the DEC are moving at this particular moment, right? Recently, we heard of the arrest of the owners of the 48 houses. A lot of Zambians were talking and singing about that song, 48 houses. We need to find out who the owners are. And recently, we got some jubilation and we got some arrests. And then today, Milingo Lungu, who happens to be the provisional liquidator of KCM, was also arrested. So according to you as a Kavushi youth advocate, what do you think about the SEC and the DEC? Do you think something has changed? And are you impressed by their pace of work at this particular moment?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mona. Good evening, Mr. Mpombo, and actually good evening to the other panelists as well. I think on the works of SCC and the deck, I think they have improved a little bit because we haven't seen much of the works being done yet, because this is what we say that once his immunity is removed, you are finding that tonso tumirandu tonso turewira kuli bamudala, so apefinga chisikafifya kwati nga twafunya immunity ilya ero emirandu
Whose immunity? Be
ishingishara.
specific. So maybe people can't understand. Whose immunity?
The former president, Mr. Muna, former president, tufuire twayifunyapo immunity ero twalamu n'emirandu shonse naba ACC ero barakwata amaka abo ba liquidator bekete. For last time he was being summoned nomba fwe bantu ocho turefiira okwipisha kyakwe bati when ero bakayitwala motion mu parliament because immunity nga bafunyapo uli omuntu uli enshi bamwisula amaka enshi takwete, so oyo nangu bamwikati oyo liquidator oyo, so nakwata because ofo yabalangu ni panganda abaana nga balerufyanya baleeriba ifyapanganda balapera ma resources mwamona babeekata bali abaana bali nangu ni region kubati ntwala eko wafunishe, so bakaboola lenga ko babatwala mu region inga ababe baba because immunity nga bayifunyapo fe imomule eyita Clique Of Thieves ifo tukayita it's a den of thieves because abantu tabali ebomba beekaawe n'abakwata directive oko yali efuma, so that's why echo tulerabira fwe bantu. I think Mr. Muna but they can have a improve according na nefo turemo nefire sticker because uyu futi bali muitirepo again futi muntu oba chimuchita arrest ero muri totera no kutotera mu mene zambe bakwe bati case yobe ngeri bondebo ni shifo fine elifyo bwino kuwafuma but inofo nde konkomesha byakwe bati tufire tu afunyapo immunity ero tukamona bwino na investigation ero ba ACC na babambero bakakwata makasana Mr. Moon because minus ukufunyapo ungata funishepo immunity if into Mr. Moon afikara.
Wakabushi graduate Chapalakwati internet has tripped, but he'll be back. I'm sure there's just a little bit of confusion with regards to the internet. So anyway, moving on. Gentlemen, I would love to hear from you. How can we make ACC, DEC, FIC, Transparency International Zambia, and all these institutions that are responsible for conducting such services, how can we make them much more efficient so that they can produce tangible results? Because they've been strolling for a very long period of time. A lot of these cases should have been dealt with a long time ago, but so how can we improve the efficiency? So Kabushi graduate is back. Let us give him this opportunity to finish his points. But Kabushi graduate, before we move on, because my internet so just finish your point before I move on to the other panelists. Yeah, so
Okay.
finish.
Yeah, so as I was saying, immunity is very important to kuifunyapo, and nangu twingalanda if you arrest comes ZESCO. The only thing yakwatiba PF, they did a lot of bad things. That's why they didn't want any party to come after, because these guys, they know that they have done so much harm and they have got a lot of cases. Now my worry is, why are we still keeping PF? So there's somewhere back, I think we spoke about the cadres. Now we see a lot of criminals have been running around Lusaka because those cadres, they still have got guns. So the very much important, which I'm still emphasizing, is to remove his immunity. This is when you give all the investigative wings a chance and powerful. Apo bale bombera abo. Yoni dionko fenga bafunya immunity tukesa futhi pazeti kona tukesa mumuyatsa for twaliranda because the one of the 48 houses okay bali muikata. Now afuira sonta cause umuntu uli onse baramutwala muri dzinture oyo sokoroko waibide. Mwamona wa kupera ensambu. So mwalasanga ati kuonsa ma ministers nga bafunya fe immunity baramba nokulaba kaka because uli awine boss wabo chimwa kabola ali kwata mutuma. So bwalopola kabola ala sonta ulya abafyamba na bena badeko cho baropwera kulopololo ayasonta supply yo shechamba ingena muzambia for chinchi cha shupa nga bakabola bara baropora inga kuli government resources because na vandalism wapata tuwalangira nemirando sha vandalism.
No,
So
Baba
all what I
Kabushi,
can say.
graduate. Ngabale abantu abalanda tinga mwafunya po immunity. According to the past, we haven't had any tangible results. Nga mwafunya po immunity muka spenda FMP eshingo ku sokota but tamaka sange po ifintu fiyanse. What can you say to those people?
Now that's him. A corruption yena yali pamuru. Yali sabadisa ibikati ni connection. Now, if over Badiranda, we have people, not quite evidence like whenever liquidator where was he getting the powers? Because you see, that's why it was called the Clique of Thieves. Bari bombera pamo. It's a group. So na paina padi click para bomuntu mumukurushta finance fiance no controller. Because na tumone mpia. Mpia shafu mnegula kuri Faith Musonda. Mwenje wa Faith Musonda ifeni presenter kusakwate mpia shonza shiria. Ili ashibadi inyanza. So inga yari ati immunity nga badi shifunishepo. Nga nama cases yari amboko as we are speaking. So abali randa si tukaona FMP bufi. By ACC they have a lot of evidence. Na wena ba ACC nga tuwafunya immunity. Fure tuwa muna nomba weki ya bomu inoguno cause badeti inapa. Chaba kwa tsangalimo umuntu wa muri chishield. So fure tuwa toba shield. So that's half map. Kainiro bwanga yabati nga bapepo obwanga. Chira chishield cha bwange nga chafu mapo. Ero endo shumwayi mwana ya pona. Nomba mwara mfunya po shanyu muntu immunity oro bali chenja lokusha ibika immunity ena ama minister benata baba fimbire. So apa nangu ni mu minister of health ineni nshiba ili ashiria hani b tet tulika tebuino minus his immunity hasn't yet been removed apa kufunya immunity chintu fechiri pwapa and ama MPs verse we supposed to start emphasizing them. When are you taking this debate? When are you taking the motion in that parliament house? But bakaunda bali bakakire bachiruba nomba ingabena how special is this so bafuire babafunyapo immunity. We know everything tapali po muntu olona nguni certificate ne minister muna ine kuna atemwa po ya covid na poka ni a certificate of anger na certificate of brutality eyo twapsemo for 10 years because abantu balirwere sana bali kalifya abantu imitima so tetbaranda tiyota tukwete evidence opoiri na abene tulamona mtuma mumwa mija yambi ba PF ali amboko isokola abe nawo ni fine finga mwasanga so immunity yena inenda randa polion se yakufunyapo imirando ishimisa muna tukarabo era po.
No, as in you can conclude in about 15 seconds. You know, don't just abruptly close it off like that. Bell, you've got about 15 seconds to conclude your thoughts so that so just conclude in about 15 seconds.
Yeah. So if we have for fine programu kufunyapo bamdara immunity. Eshimira ndumure mone shubonse mwe panelists mwe bajapa tapa kula boko shikaraya because immunity tatura ifunyapo. So apa we supposed to know then ilisa bale itwala mu parliament nga baifunyapo fe bambi bakesa ntashano kuntashapa there are still more cases iya mukula trita mulayika tako kuri ama liquidation zuku mamona iya mafaya tenda taturayika tako so shonse shimira ndushirera first immunity baifunye poro shikambo kwisi. Hello.
All right. Okay, Kabushi, 15 seconds. Yeah, Peter, you're supposed to conclude. Okay. But anyway, yeah, thanks. We'll get back to you. So, gentlemen, ACC, DEC, are they beginning to bite a little bit more? Are we seeing any improvements from the ACC? So, Brother Oscar, you can go for that one. Then we'll pass it over to Brother Moses.
I think these organizations and for investigative organizations, they are showing some signs. They are now showing some signs of a change. But as we said, I think we have talked about this before. The contamination was just too much. So Fiaringila, it is gone deep. And we know they have tried to change some of the key leaders in these organizations, but also it's not enough. The damage is just isabi litampira kumutwe okubola nombanga mwafunyako omutwe wabola tekweba ati bode yesabi lyaveri tunturu. I don't know whether I'm trying to explain to give my point. So the damage was just too much. I think even the PF, this is what I am going to, today I was just thinking about this. The PF members, who are our brothers, they are also Zambians, they are our brothers and sisters. Now me, I'm asking your PF, the PF, can't they complain to their president Edgar Chagwa Lungu for the damage he did? This because I cannot reason myself. I cannot explain what happened. So I think now Bachinja, president, are changing, and everyone now, even in the police service, they have seen, even in our armed forces, they have seen that our president is very, very serious gentleman, and he is so focused, no compromise, this man. Our president, Hakainde Hichilema, is so focused, no compromise, and serious. Look at the nominations. I'm telling you, I have no words. He knows what he is doing, this gentleman. And he's
right. And Brother Oscar,
yes,
because a lot of people don't really understand why it's important for the head to be as proactive as President Hichilema. So how does that affect the psyche of citizens and even government officials when we have a person who's very determined, a person who's got a precise way of doing things? How does that affect the overall mood of his subordinates? And why is that important to have somebody, a leader, who is as proactive as President Hichilema?
It does affect in a positive way, Mr. Muna. It does affect in a positive way. It is really an inspiration to have a president who is very, very serious, first of all, as a human being, as a man. He is a morally, is a moral, I don't know what you can say. He's an ethical man. He's an ethical man. Yeah, he's a family man. He loves school. He loves the people. First of all, that's the first thing. This guy loves his life, his family life, and he loves work, and he loves the Zambians. Three things which are so fundamental, I think, for the leader. So we appreciate. I'm telling you, this guy is going to be a legend in our country. Zambia is fortunate. We are fortunate to have that type of. So it is an encouragement to the leaders and some of the UPND leaders, those who have maybe done some underground talks with, PF are friends with UPND. We cannot hide this. I just hope most of the members of parliament, leaders, permanent secretaries, and all these people have been voted in and nominated. I hope they don't do underground deals with the other friends. I just hope, because they are going to tarnish the reputation of our president. The president is giving us an example. Let us emulate this man. Really, accountability, to be transparent. The man is transparent. He calls us to love him, to love the country. We are coming back to love Zambia, to love the country Zambia. Wonderful, Mr. Mona, wonderful.
All right, thank you.
I think for the Anti-Corruption Commission, all those organizations, it will take some time, but we have seen some signs. There are positive signs. It won't be so easy, but it will take some time. If there will be a possibility today, Mr. Mona, please give me 1 second to say a word on the COVID-19. Some people
yes, for sure. We will tackle that. We will tackle that. And
Sure.
a lot of people are talking about COVID. They're asking a lot of questions, so we'll definitely handle that. So anyhow, Justin Chisale says, let's talk about the Christians for Lungu. So I remember there was these organizations in the Lungu heydays where we saw a lot of Christians get used. So what is your opinion on such organizations, and do you want to see these type of groups come back? And basically, what was your overall perception? So we're going to pass it over to Mr. Simu Koko, is it? Yeah, Mr. Simu Konda, just give us your brief 90 seconds take, and then we'll pass it over to Brother Mark James. So, Mr. Simu Konda, what is your take on the Christians for Lungu? Do we need such organizations back again in full motion?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's laughable when I hear when you say Christians for Lungu. Yeah, you know, first of all, I don't want to see, or as Zambians, we don't want to see that to repeat it itself when we say we have Christians for HH. We don't want that. You know what happened in PF? They formed that, first of all, they declared national prayer and reconciliations. It's just like to blacklist the Zambians. So the whole system, it was rotten. So they know that Zambians, we like Christians, we like Bible. So that's why they declared to say prayer and reconciliations. But behind that, what was happening was terrible, was corruptions, was stealing. That was what was happening. So going forward, we don't want that. We want true Christians to stand for Zambians. When they see something wrong going on, they have to come on board and speak it out to say, this is wrong. We want the country to go in these directions. Not Christians, when they go, they get a brown envelope, they forget about Zambians. That is not Christians. Then also, let me also tackle a bit on the SEC and DEC. Yeah, for the SEC and DEC, I think I can say I've seen some signs, and also waiting for the Auditor General report to see the level of corruptions. So now, what I can say to improve SEC and DEC, what I can say is that I think we need to change the appointing authority. What I can suggest is that the SEC, the directors for SEC and the DEC, I think they're supposed to be approved by Parliament. Because what happens in PF, I think we've talked about 48 houses. You know, I laughed when I hear they say SEC have failed to find the owner of 48 houses. But now, again, the same SEC under HH, they said they've arrested the owner of 48 houses. So what was happening there? The whole system was rotten because the previous regimes, the president appointed cadres in this institution, SEC and DEC. They are working together. It was a system. So they use that system to manipulate us Zambians. So that's why I was saying that I think we have to change the appointing authority, because when you look at this SEC and DEC, they're appointed by the president. So they give
yeah,
hello?
you still there, Brother Sumkonda? Yeah,
they give
still there.
allegiance to the appointing authority. So what I can say, what I can suggest that going forward, we need to change the appointing authority. This name should be approved by Parliament so that these people, they are protected, so that they can function properly according to the Constitution of Zambia. Yeah,
And
that
so
is
how
what
exactly
I can
do you mean we need to change the appointing authority? Can you just expand more on that? What does that mean? We need to change the appointing authority. What process should be changed, and how exactly do we do that?
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, what I was saying, what I meant was that we need like names to be nominated. When names are nominated, they should be taken to Parliament so that these people they have the so that these names are appointed and approved by Parliament. than the way it is happening. Like when the president appoints them, they're going to give allegiance to the appointing authority. If anything happens in the government, they fail to go and investigate these issues. Like what happened on the 48 hours. SEC was there during PF, but they failed to find the owners of 48 houses. But again, the same SEC under HH, they've managed to find the owner of SEC. So now, this is what is happening. So,
all right, okay.
for example,
So, Brother Simkonda, hold on to that particular thought. I want to hear what the our fellow panelists think about that particular suggestion. So, Brother Mark James, do you really think we need to change the process that we use with regards to appointing government officials? Because according to the point that Brother Simkonda has brought about, right, it seems there is a lot of inefficiencies that come through because there is allegiance to the appointing authority. And a lot of people say, "Aba winama elections, eba kuteka." So meaning, eba kuingira na positions and all that stuff. But what usually happens, according to Brother Simkonda, is in the long run, right? When aba kuchipani valufiania, they kind of fail to do the proper job because they've pledged allegiance to a particular political party. So do you think we need to change the way that these appointments are done? Brother Mark James, then we're going to post it over to Brother Jason, then Brother Nathan.
Yes,
we can
Muna,
hear you, sir.
good evening. Are you able to get me?
Loud and clear. You can go on, sir.
Okay, thank you. I think Mr. Simkonda has a point. The problem that we are facing with these appointments where maybe they are done by the head of state, mostly we know, and it is known, that it's rare that somebody can disappoint the finger that appointed him, or can rather bite the finger that appointed him. So I think if there is a way we can do it, just like for these ACC and these other government departments, where those people who are appointed or who work there, they should not worry about the next government. They should just work until their tenure of office expires, then other people are elected or put in those positions.
But how does that happen? How does that happen? Yes. Because there's usually interest attached to these things. You know, if they give you a position, psychologically you feel obliged to take care of your fellow people. So how does this happen? How do we give them full autonomy?
Yeah, Muna, I think what you are saying, yes, how we can do that is simple, because certain positions in certain government institutions, it's not just the matter of pointing somebody. There are qualifications attached to. Like, I think the previous, like the way State Council Johnson was trying to put on the Judicial Review Commission, there are those qualifications, and there are people who have got those qualifications. So now we find that we are human. If I am the president and you, Muna, you are my friend, I can use that discretion. No, is my friend. Even when you do not qualify for a certain position, I can appoint you because I have the power to appoint, but you would not qualify for that. So what we mean, or the process, that the way it's supposed to be done, let these appointments be open, where maybe other people can apply, and whatever, looking at their qualification, the best out of those who have applied get the position. And there should be a tenure of office for that, so that even when the sitting government rules and everything, they should continue working autonomously. Unlike when there is change of government, you find that these people who might have been favoring maybe those people who appointed them. And these are the issues where you find that the new government which comes in, because they also appoint other people, now it will seem as a witch hunt for now, like those who have been appointed, maybe even to start following the previous cases as it is happening right now. But if these people were like, as he is putting, there is a way, certain processes and procedures can be changed, such that these people are rectified or elected in a parliament whereby the president or any other, be it a minister and whatever, there is no any connections to them. That way it can work better, and we will find that these cases, as they are happening, Even a sitting minister can be probed whilst in office. But you know what happened in the previous government, where certain ministers were tried to be probed and they still hold on to their ministry, and it was difficult because of those immunity they had at that time. So if these organizations, they are independent, it becomes easier. Even say at then we have got a case against the Minister A, and automatically from there, because they are investigating something, the immunity temporarily will be removed and investigated. If he is found wanted, then the law will take its course. Now it is difficult as it is because one, certain ministers or certain other appointments are given by those other people. So it puts the ACC, the DEC, and whatever in a very awkward and difficult situation to act on certain people. It's only when they've left office, that's when now they can be followed. And these are the issues that we can try to avoid. And if that is the case, you find that even the rate of the corruption will be somehow be reduced because people will be fearing. So those are some of the things which I think Mr. Simkonda is trying to put across. There is a point, if the law can be changed, if it is the matter of the law, then it will be fine. So that those are key governmental department which looks at how government operates or how government resources can be protected. I think he has got a point. If only we can realize in those. Quite all right, there can be some political will where if the president is so open, but as a human, and the way, like in Zambia, the way we have lived, we always have got that inclination to the president, even somebody who is profession appointed to that, because of just the nature of the appointment, they tend to incline to the appointing authority, and their professionalism is somehow compromised. So we want to, like certain other positions where people work independently, they give the decision on merit based on their findings, not intimidated, not compromised by any of those who might be ahead of them. I think that's the point where Mr. Simkonda wanted to put, and I totally support it.
All right, thanks, Brother Mike James. So, Brother Jason, welcome back. What's your take on the points that Brother Mike James and Brother Simkonda have raised? You can unmute yourself, Brother Jason. I don't know whether you can hear us. I think he's having issues. All right, so let's pass it over to Brother Nathan. Mr. Katongo, how are you? We can see you parked in your lovely car. Just, show us your face. We're not interested in the background view. Just show us your face and give your tungwe.
Yeah, sorry. Katuishika ninji karave moto karua malaituru. I'm sure you can get me.
Change to the face camera, Kabidi, so that we see who's talking.
It's difficult. Let me. Are you able to see me?
No. All right. Okay, we'll bring you when you're ready. Okay, so let's pass it over to Brother Bobby Marvel. I hope you can hear us, Brother Bobby Marvel. You can unmute yourself, then give us your opinions with regards to the points that Brother Mike James and Brother Simkonda brought up with regards to ACC and DEC being fully autonomous. Because what usually happens is these particular institutions, they are kind of aligned with the ruling party, because those people are the ones that really make these appointments. So, when it's time to do investigations that are kind of linked to a ruling party, they really tend not to really bite as much. So how can we improve this? How can we give them full autonomous authority? So, Brother Bobby, give us your opinion.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Muna. Am I audible enough?
Audible enough, and just call me Muna. The Mr. freaks me out when you put it in front. Just say Muna.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, brother. Thank you. I would say the topic for now. I'm quite a little bit behind, though I need some time to exhaust
All
enough
right, okay, so
points. Thank
the
you.
question is, how can we make ACC and DEC much more efficient? By the way, are you satisfied with the rate at which ACC and DEC are working?
For now, I feel yes, but then no. For now, they are trying their best. I think with the incoming of the new dawn, like I'm sure they've been given the authority to operate as an independent organ, which is a thing that then they were lacking because they were being controlled by the people who appointed them. So in order for these like departments to work independently and be able to execute their duties, I feel they should be allowed to work independently. Like if there is any problem, let the people report. Those that understands whatever is going on, then let them be allowed to operate as an organization according to their statutory regulations. That's when they are going to like do a thorough job. Unlike they are being threatened here and there, they're being guided by someone and what to do and what not to do. I mean, they ain't going to do anything. I think that's my take for now.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Brother Bobby. So a lot of you guys have been raising the point of, fake Christians. So let me just take you back in time. By the way, this is Pastor Sunday Sinyangwe, if I'm not mistaken. So this is what he had to say, and then we're going to chat on the other side. So let's just listen to this.
Don't dare me. Don't dare me with your if you try that and you try and touch me in any way, my God will touch you. Not only that, even if I go, the land will never accept you. Mr. H with your leaders. We beg you by the mercies of the Lord. Go before God and ask for mercy for what you did on Friday. I decree from this altar. Let me stand right here. I make a decree from this altar. If you don't reverse what you did on Friday, you never enter State House. Your party will be rejected. You will never sit on the floor. I break that spirit of death that was released over the nation. I destroy it in the name of Jesus. I destroy it in the name of Jesus. And all those who are behind the killing of that young man, may the land of Zambia begin to fight you. May the land of Zambia pursue you until you repent in the name of Jesus. I, Apostle Sunday Sinyangwe, from the altar of prayer, I make a decree that the courting spirit shall never reign over Zambia. I bind that courting spirit. I bind it in the name of Jesus. I bind the spirit of death that was released in the nation of Zambia. I bind it in the name of Jesus. There will be no strife in Zambia. There will be no strife in Zambia. There will no bitterness in Zambia. There shall be love in Zambia. Oh Lord, visit HH with these leaders. May they repent and apologize to the people of Zambia in the name of Jesus. If you don't repent, I command the land of Zambia to reject. Don't dare me. Don't dare me with your if you try that and you try and touch me in any way, my God will touch you. Not only that, even if I go, the land will never accept you. Mr. H with your leaders. We beg you by the mercies of the Lord. Go before God and ask for mercy for what.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Christians for Lungu and anyway, gentlemen, who can go for that one? I wish Kabushi graduate was here. He could have destroyed them. Anyway, let's pass it over to Brother Mark James. Then we'll pass it over to Brother Oscar. How does that make you feel, Brother Mark James, listening to that?
You know, Mona, it's very interesting and very fun at the same time. The problem that we have in Zambia and Africa at large, our minds have been captured by so-called men of God. These papas. People, they believe that when somebody is just reading the Bible, when somebody just mentioning the word of God or is a prophet and whatever, they take those people as they are just coming direct from heaven. And everyone else, even these readers, they've known that this is the trend, and as a result, they use them. Because someone who is at that authority, that seat, when you have got the power, you have got the authority, you just delegate, you just appoint whatever, you just say whatever you want to say. So now, and every other human being would want to associate themselves to the presidency, and they use this so-called men of God, people like Sunday Sinyangwe. I wonder, because these days I don't even hear about him. I don't know whether he has stopped or whatever preaching is like he has gone mute. So it is a bad thing, it's a bad trend. If worshiping is personal and your aim is to be saved or to go to heaven, if there is going to heaven, then you should focus on that one. Because they know very well that salvation is individual. You cannot even take your own child to heaven if it's going to heaven. But they want to associate themselves as though they are so close to God, as though there is something. But we know, we live in the same areas, we know what they do, we know where they stay, we know what they do, some of these people. And now, because they've put themselves at that, they've created themselves a name. Now it has become something which anyone can speak. So these are fake men of God, and we should just as a people know that God is not impartial, does not select. God can use any other human being. There is no one selected that, no, I will be using this one. He can use anyone, just as he was using other people in the Bible. If God wants to talk to me, he can talk to me in any way he finds fit to talk to me. There is nothing like I should go, I tell Muna should come. No, we have got direct access. Even the Bible says that there is no mediator now. We've got direct access to God. So these men of God, it's a shame.
Thank you, Brother Mark James. So let's pass it over to Brother Oscar, then Brother Moses. So, Brother Oscar, my question to you is, why and how did we degenerate, especially with regards to Christianity? And why were Christians using their congregations to amass a lot of wealth? For example, we even had the Ministry of Religious Affairs, which was obviously abolished. What do you think about the Ministry of Religious Affairs and why Christians were taking advantage of people in order for them to get politically affiliated and become very powerful and become basically Christian cadres? How did we get to this point?
Mr. Mona, first of all, we thank God that the Ministry of Religious has been erased. We thank God, and we hope it does never come back. Listen, you gentlemen, the panel, please. I have studied philosophy, I've studied theology, and the history, of religion in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, and in the United States. So one of the things that you cannot mix together is we have to be very careful to mix together religion aspects with politics. There are two words which differentiate the two. In a religion or in faith, we use a word like fellowship. Fellowship, Mr. Mona, it means I am called to love my neighbor Jesus Christ tells us, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So fellowship in faith, I'm called to love my neighbor. My neighbor now can be UPND, UPP, can be Democratic Party, can be PF. That is my neighbor. And in Christian way of life, I'm called to love even the PF. Right. Why distinguishing the two things? Because it is dangerous. That's why they use the speaker before, he said they used Christians for Lungu just as a weapon. Just the way Zambia was declared a Christian nation. I repeated, I think I talked about it even before. Even Italy, a Christian country, has never been a Christian nation. It has never been declared. Israel, a Jewish nation. No, it's a laicity. They vote. Then they embrace everyone. They embrace everyone. Even Christianity, we embrace everyone. Politics is something different. Politics is something you govern the people and you choose who to govern with you. In Christianity, you don't choose. You are given to stay with the people, bad and good. So, by Christians for Lungu, it was something fake. And the so-called papas, all those Zambia, Bushiri, all those people, they came for money in Zambia. Those people were blessing. Let me go and bless the president now, because if I don't bless, come on, rubbish. Who are you? Why have we put Zambia so as if we are not learned, Bamuna? Ignorance, the so-called papas. Me, I'm a Catholic. I'm not distinguishing any church from another one, which is the better church from the other. No, that is not my responsibility. But I'm saying, kamode waka ishiresa Zambia. Aka papa. And then you say, the man of God. Listen, gentlemen, if Zambia is a Christian nation, we know that God created every man. So why do you call them a man of God? First of all, that is wrong. Just the title itself, man of God. Why do you think you are a man of? Mr. Muna is not a man of God. Bamuna, are you not a man of God?
Ifwe tunapepa sana, ifwe tunaingira mwe, ifwe ngatuwaingira mso.
So, Mr. Muna, first of all, the term itself, man of God, it's wrong. Theologically speaking, it is wrong. God created everyone, Jew, Muslim, Catholic, everyone is a human being. Human being, the correct word. Human. Everyone is a human being. Man of God, no. We have other pastor. We have other distinctions. Not man of God is everyone. Even a child is a man of God. Even women of God. So women of God, men of God. Why it is wrong? There is only men of God. Where are the women of God? Where are they? Come on. So that is wrong. First of all, it is wrong. So if you are past Christians for Lungu, please let it not come back. Vamuna Sharisa is a Christian for you be pastor, I don't know who are UPND. He said, no, now this is going to fall under the vice president's office. It is not disappeared. It has not disappeared. It is going to work under the vice president. So please, that it is back. No. Let it not come back. Let the politicians go to church. Let them go and humble themselves in their various churches. Remove the politics, those things in parliament. Let's remove them. Let's remove them. Let those gentlemen do politics. Let them govern the country. And that is my advice. The last thing I can say, Mr. Muna, is you told me another question. Well, we hope SEC and Corruption Commission, we hope they can take to task whoever made mistakes. But we need also the opposition to do checks and balances, of course. And to UPND shine one party system which we don't need. But our opposition ngatawakwata makamu Zambia. If we in our movie TV, now if we we are going to be the opposition. When our president makes a mistake, if we never muna, but just
boss.
If we in our opposition, we don't need.
We are not ready, bosses. To more opposition for 15 years. To stop boss.
Checks and balances. If we need the people, and for our employer want to, we are going to do checks and balances for them. Then we have Golden Party to Atkwata Chisimba from UPP, that is United People's Party, UPP President Chishimba, very good man. Akaba you do checks and balances. Nangu Golden Party President Jack, what is the name? I don't remember that guy. Very intelligent man, very young man, very intelligent. The president of Golden Party.
Jackson Slavwe, I think.
Slavwe, very good guy. Let these guys do the opposition. Let them. The opposition, we don't. It's not. Who said that to our PF? Everybody checks and balances. Who said that? Now, Parliament, we are going to volunteer. Okay, our panel. We are
not ready. We're not ready. We've been in opposition since 2016. They can now for doing it.
I'm backing you. I'm backing you, Brother Oscar.
Thank you.
We together in opposition. God, if we allow a one-party state, it will be something else. It will get back to PF, because you know when you give absolute power, actually, that's what corrupts people. We don't have to give them absolute power. We need to check them where necessary.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening. I've just jumped in, actually, Brother Oscar.
Yes, that's the spirit. Here we are aggressive. Yeah. But anyway, go on.
I think today my network is too erratic. You know, I don't know what has happened. I trust Airtel so much. I don't really use MTN, but Airtel today has disappointed me. I want to start by just backing what Brother Simukonda said, the point that he raised concerning the changing of appointing authority to this sensitive department. I don't know if they are government departments or they are what. But to be honest with you, the fellow panelists and the viewers, you know, it becomes very difficult to make a check on somebody actually who gave you the job. It becomes very difficult. Imagine. If we can suggest and propose that SEC and DEC, Drug Enforcement Commission, become like these any other government department. Let it be part of the civil service, so that at least these people are just employed. They advertise the positions. They get employed, so that whenever they are appointed, they will have nobody whatsoever to interfere them. There will be a civil service. It will be like working for the government of the day. But imagine, Brother Muna, if you give me a capoto, will I be able to come back? Because before I investigate you, I'll be coming to tip you to say, bossy, it is so and so.
Something which is growing, And Brother Jason, this is one of the reasons why everything in Zambia is political. Even Christians are politically affiliated and aligned. How can we break this chain?
Yeah, actually, these guys, Brother Muna, these guys actually, they are not religious leaders. They are just like religious politicians. You know, they are people.
That's what I call them.
Yeah. They are opportunists. They are people actually. They have seen this time around in Zambia. Okay, abantu na basarapukako, Brother Muna, and the viewers who are listening to me. Abantu na basarapukako kalaka bututu akakuya munganga balireka. So no, but there is a mushrooming of these tumapapas, you know. And you know, they are playing psychological games on the innocent individuals. So right. PF, you know, because they have got these to my advisors, to my political psychologists, they say that big money, if we insinuate a certain story, if we propagate this, and we say, no, this big man is a humble man, look at what he has introduced. So they took advantage actually of the situation, which should not be the case. Like Brother Pombo is saying, let politics be politics and let religious affairs be religious affairs, Brother Muna. And for that matter, actually, as a church has to be an opposition. That's what I know. The Bible that I've read. Because even in the Bible, you see that kings and queens, when they made mistakes, actually, it was the religious leaders who were coming to castigate them to say, King David, what you are doing, I think God is not happy with you. But Mwasangat, the people are supposed to stand with, actually, the people are the ones who were on the forefront, who were on the forefront to continue extorting the innocent people. So we are saying no to this Christian for Lungu. It shouldn't continue. We should not even hear about it. Let it go to the office of the vice president. That to the fire for Brother Muna.
Even just bootlicking.
Yes, we need a church.
Anyhow.
We need a church which must be independent, actually. So, but before I submit, I just want to congratulate our president, 87. You know, I come to love this man. Is somebody actually who is rational in doing things. He's somebody who takes his time, would always want to make a move when he has relevant information and enough information. It's not that SCCA and DEC, they wouldn't want to work. But it's because of what we are talking about. But you know, he's a kind of a man who is very intelligent, actually. He has got guys. He has got guys on the ground who are giving him information. So even this resolution that we have seen, you know, they are not a surprise because, you know, you cannot continue working with the people that you don't trust. So, they complain and no, he's taking time. Like, you know, we complained the other time to say, no, he's taking too much time. But, you know, like we are saying, these guys, they are able to listen to what we people are saying. But what is there is they would want to make a move when they have actually enough information and the credible information. Yes. Look at Milingo Lungu. Who thought that there was even this guy with a 17.30 million? And you know the effect of that. I'm a contractor, taba for a Brother Muna. I'm a worker, taba for a Brother Muna. Pamaya and Daba Kastru taba because of this single man. And what other evidence are we waiting for? So some of these things, I'm a guys, I'm a bills. I'm wondering, in FAI, for one, I can't even grant them bills because these guys, they are demons in human skins. So definitely. What I'm saying is, I thumbed up to our president HH because he's been so objective in following up these issues, so that whenever they make a move, there won't be any reverse gear to say, no, we never did things well and the like, and such and such. So let him continue working what he's doing. Let him do what is supposed to be done, so that at least I was following him. Kabushi graduate to say to apoka ama certificates aengi ama certificates. But what we are saying to the president is let him just continue as he is doing. You know, he's making a very good example to his actually subordinates, because if we have a leader actually with that stamina, then even the young ones, the likes of Abena Garin Kombo Bakuratina, if we do this, our boss is not going to spare us. That's why Kapiopio, Brother Muna, Kapiopio is not somebody you can entrust with Mula. It is a very big mistake. We need to start going the USA way, whereby we have cream of politicians, those who are able to distinguish between politics and positions, because there is no distinction. aba politician yala isa na politics na ma position bafo kutwala mu politics mwamona ka. So we need people actually with that integrity. Yes, Brother Muna.
Yes, no, I was agreeing with what you're saying. Conclude your thoughts.
Yes.
Are you still there?
Go to a period where we have cream of politicians to come on board. Epo fiasa shila Brother Muna mwala sangati fiali sasa background fe peka. How do you interest somebody of a chairman, a ward chairman, you muntunika piopi, and the people who are aspiring na bamuchira? Do you think that person yala kananga bampera 10 kwa chati bamdala mkansungire kwa paso? Tetakani. So starting from the ground, the way we are putting up structures, let us make sure that the people we are engaging actually, because there is no way an aspirant is better off economically than somebody actually who scored the chair. It becomes very impossible.
Right.
So let us look at those things, Brother Muna. Actually, and on the issue of ACC, if it means to make these departments to be government department and to be part of civil service, let the government do that, because it will become independent and autonomous enough to make any maneuver they will feel like, because they will have no compromise whatsoever, Brother Moon. Because they will be not saying, because if you look at the appointment which were done in PF, it were full of nepotism, to be direct to the point. Now, do you think somebody can come and investigate Bayamabaku? Look at the issue of 48 houses. Bamuno foyaba issue ya land. Inena ishbati, balak pera offered. Offered idanga bakpera. That's the one you are going to use to open if you are mentioned. Those houses were serviced. Who registered those houses to ZESCO and to Lusaka Water and Sewage? So guys, let them be dissolved, because we are dealing with the wrong people. Personally, that's my opinion. Because they knew these guys, it's not that they are known today. Those guys were known.
Yes, they had this information a long time ago.
Yes, them having serviced those houses with ZESCO and the Lusaka Water and Sewage, and the lands. They knew the owners. But because of this same nepotism that we are saying of the system, which is full of nepotism, that's what made this information. I think I submit, Brother Muna. I submit for other questions.
Gentlemen, now let's do the rapid fire thing so that we can be very generous with the time allocation, because everybody needs to be given an equal opportunity to talk. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having about 90 seconds. Kindly keep the time in your mind so that everybody has got a very good opportunity to talk. So our next topic is rate the 100 days of the new Dawn government. What things do you like? What things don't you like? So everybody's going to have an opportunity to give their response, the things that they like and the things that they do not like. So just be very brief, 2 minutes maximum. So who's going to start? Moses, I can see you're ready. So Moses, give us the things that you like about the 100 days of the UPND, the things that you like and the things that you also don't like. If you want, you can also touch the 100 days of the PF in opposition, because we're just, talking about the UPND. We can also talk about the 100 days of PF in opposition. So Brother Moses, go for it. 90 seconds.
Yes, 100 days of the UPND. To me personally, I've seen there is improvement and change. The weather has passed than the way it was. In fact, this happened just when they announced that UPND has won. And in addition, or just when the president had also announced publicly that no cadreism. So it was like we are in a new country, just like it was Egypt for those Israelites from Egypt to Canaan. That's what I've seen. On appointment, it is giving hope to all Zambians, although the president, we have been complaining of taking long, but we are really seeing the quality of appointment. There is improvement, and we are hoping Zambia will change, because this is not just an appointment which is coming up or without scrutinizing. No, he's taking time to at least see who should be on this position, who should be suitable on this institution. That's good. The other thing is the economy.
All right, I think we kind of lost him there with the network. So, Brother Bobby, then we're going to pass it on to Brother Simkonda. So, rate the new Dawn government 100 days in power. You can unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Oh, thank you, Mona. Am I audible?
Yes, go for it.
Am I audible?
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. I think for me, thank you. For me, I would say the new government in power for 100 days has been overwhelming. So far, I would say with what they saw the data that was in the country, like there's been so much housekeeping. They've managed to do the first thing that was bringing each Kwela, I think cleaning up of cadres from all these trading areas, the bus stations and all that, which is good. Then also the budget is on point. I would say for now, though there are certain things that are still hanging, but we're still hoping for the best, because whatever they've put in place seem to be promising. Like for now, I mean, I'm saying we're still waiting, because they made a lot of promises. The appointments, like he's still cleaning up. Like as we are seeing, it's a continued process. Like he's still dissolving. Like he's removing, like continuously cleaning up the ministries, trying to put the right people in the right positions and all that, which is very good. And we're still waiting for more better things to come. Then for the the previous government, I mean, there's been so much confusion. For now, I don't know what they're up to. I'm just seeing confusion. I think that is it I can say for now. I submit.
All right. Thanks, Brother Bobby. So, Brother Simkonda, 100 days of the new Dawn government and 100 days of the Patriotic Front in opposition. Opposition PF. That feels very good, saying Opposition Patriotic Front. It's so oddly satisfying for some reason. So anyway, Brother Simkonda, go for it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I can let the new Dawn government by 10 out of 10. Yeah, I know we are complaining to say the president is taking long. Yeah, but what I can say that our president is very smart and very, very intelligent. And as Zambian, we have to be very happy and proud to have the president HH in office. Yeah, what it is like in 100 days. First of all, the strength of any building depends on the foundation. So the president is laying down a very strong foundation, like in a way where a president rush to appoint. First of all, you have to know the person that you are appointing into office. If this person really can deliver and work according to my plan, according to my manifesto, so the president is not taking long to appoint. I think this is the week, even today I was appointing some permanent secretaries. So for me, I can say it's a very smart president. He's laying a good and strong foundations. So after this, when now the whole team now in press, we are going to see that things will be start now moving. So that is what I can say about the new Dawn government. And then on the PF, the opposition, I can say that they are still in denial. They are still in denial. They don't know what is to do, because I think they didn't expect that they're going to lose these elections. They say that they're going to win, but unfortunately, things didn't go according to their plans. So there's just total confusion. They don't know what is to do. They're just, this one talks, this one talks. So yeah, that's what I can say for now.
All right, Brother Simkonde. So let's pass it over to Brother Jason, then Brother Oscar. Brother Jason, 100 days of the new Dawn government. How are you rating them? And 100 days of the Patriotic Front in opposition.
Yes, I'm rating actually the new Dawn government 9 out of 10. Reasons being, you know, first and foremost, you know, we are able to breathe oxygen, Brother Muna, here in Zambia now, which we never, ever actually, especially as the businessmen, we are able to come out in the open, express ourselves, and be able actually to air our views on air. Had it been not for UPND this time around, I don't know what it could be. 100 days of UPND reigning, actually, some people, they might say, no, dollar is not stable, but me, I've seen as a businessman, I've seen there is an odd to the dollar depreciation, to kwacha depreciation, because, you know, there is investors' confidence in Zambia. Otherwise, this time around, we could have counted dollar to kwacha to almost a 40 kwacha, but because, you know, the investors have put the confidence actually in the current government, so the dollar actually has stabilized, because there are a lot of people actually that are coming on board and wanting to invest in Zambia. And again, 100 days of UPND reigning. I just want to congratulate His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, you know, for him always being objective and straight to the point. You know, he's somebody actually who is irrational. He's not a kind of a man who is able to rush. You know, I heard him when he was being interviewed, when he met the First Lady. He said that, you know, he's always somebody who gathers information and who needs time actually to qualify something actually for use. So on the appointments, you know, it's a plus. He's not just speaking because he wants to fit people in those positions, but he's taking time to consult what kind of a person are we supposed to place that side, what kind of an individual are we supposed to bring to this ministry. So that's what I can say about UPND. For PF, there are 100 days in opposition. I'm telling you, it's been hell. Because it's not something actually they expected to happen. It came so early and as a surprise to PF. So
no,
instead of
in the wise words of Bowman,
avena mune yakwe bati na ukano kujoba panga ndero na bepike nkoko ero asamba kuminoleto bera mofe bakunta na kumi. That's what happened to PF. So instead of them actually making objective checks and balances, they are just there actually to make sure that they disturb what UPND is doing. They make UPND to look to people that they are doing nothing. Actually, UPND is doing something. So for PF, they are 100 days in opposition. I'm telling you, it's been hell. That's what I can say.
All right. All right. So, Brother Oscar, are you there? You kind of left us hanging. I don't know whether you're still there. If not, then we can move on to the next segment. So, read the UPND 100 days in power. So, Brother Oscar, if you're still there, then we'll move on to the next segment. So, 2 minutes or less, then we'll move on to the next segment.
Right. My vote is quite positive. I would have loved to give a very high point to this government, but I'll be very prudent. So I'll give them.
Because you're already in opposition, already opposing.
Yeah. yeah. So anyway, I'll give them 6 out of 10 in this 100 days. 6 out of 10. Why? Because I thought maybe something different was going to be done in Forest 27, and I thought they would have already sealed hospital, mines areas with police to guide sensitive documents. Now I think we have lost a lot of documents. You can see, I think they even bent, I don't know that structure that they bent yesterday or today, I don't know, where there are some documents there. And we hear that they have bent the structure. So losing information, that would be maybe would cost a lot to the program of recovering resources and funds. So on those things which have which they have not yet realized, I think that's why I give them 6 out of 10.
Out of 10.
But it's a positive result, and I'm very much satisfied. And one thing that I've also noticed is the change of language. The language has changed. We are coming from education. Education. It was never in that regime. It was not a key to success. Education. It changed. Things they changed, and we will see comrades. They became comrades. People like Kalimanshi, like Bowman, they became gentlemen. And these people like Bowman, they need to maybe to improve their English. He needed to improve. Bowman, he speaks very bad English, actually. They needed to improve English, and they were ministers. They were idols and exemplary leaders of a country. So I think things have changed. The class, Hakainde Hichilema has class, and he is going also to encourage abashaka kuskulu to ukulolesha kulimo bamuna. When the young man looks at you, he says, "My goodness, listen to the accent of Muna. Oh, how I would love to speak like that, man."
But bosses, it's good measure your intelligence, just so that we put it out there.
No, not only English. Not only English. Even Muchivemba mwine. Tamwakabiati, Muchivemba na mwena ba Muna. Change language na ichinja. Takuli ati chikunyonge. Chikunyonge. Yeah. So takuli ati chikunyonge. Takuli mama language ya chinja. Yabati. Language Yabati. We are servants of the Zambian people. Look at the language. Wonderful. Oh, I love this. Imwe, ba member of parliament, ba DS, imwe permanent secretaries. We have been employed by the Zambia. Look at the language. Ah, this is great. So I think in this first 100 days, the Zambia, kudos to the Zambians. First of all, Avena Zambia, eva win a game Vena Zambia. So I clap for us as Zambians, and we thank also this President Hakainde Hichilema for changing the language. He listens to the Zambians. He goes and kneels down in front of the different abled people when they were complaining. Look at that. Wonderful. So it's a style we are changing. The style is changing. We are giving respect to the Zambian people. Fantastic, Mr. Muna. And so, Kubaneswa opposition, the able leaders in the opposition party, the able opposition party. So, Kubaneswa Lalanda, I think they are quite in problems. They are quite in deep problems, I think. First of all, I think in Ababomba very badly because President Arisa resigned. Abena Zambia wali muchita liquidate. Abena Zambia wali liquidate President ECL. Second, Kuri doubt, we don't know Kaka doubt, so the confusion is just too much. So for their 100 days in the opposition, I think it is 10 minus 10 minus. That is the vote for them. It's 10 minus and
right.
too much confusions, and then ebala tulengisha nokulengisha titwakwate opposition kwenanga bafirwa kuchi basa tutavote ifo tukesayisa kali ba movie TV we are ready ba ZESCO we are ready
brother Oscar.
No,
You remember to a ZESCO we're still deciding what to do, what next moves we're going to make. Anyway,
we are ready. We are very ready. Jason, we are absolutely ready.
All right. Okay. So anyway, moving on, gentlemen.
Story of COVID.
Let's just finish this Pilato thing. Then get a party COVID. Let's just finish this. This is going to be done rapidly. Then we're going to talk about COVID. Then we conclude. So, gentlemen, here Pilato has given us a lot of questions that he feels need to be addressed by the new Dawn government. So we're just going to briefly take a look at them, and each one is going to be tackling one particular point that was raised by Pilato. So we have to be very fast because there's quite a number of them. So less than 1 minute, each and every one of us will go through these points, and then we'll just give our opinions, because it's very important to objectively talk about these things, because Pazed Corner, we do not have the spirit of bootlicking. Bootlicking not our opposition, but brother Oscar, who's ready to go into full throttle opposition. So let's talk about the points that Pilato has raised. 100 days has passed so far. How far is the new Dawn government, or rather, how far has the new Dawn government gone with regards to repealing the Public Order Act? So who's going to go for this one? So let me do anti-clockwise. So Bobby Marvelous, what do you think about the Public Order Act, and how far with this particular repealing of the Public Order Act? If you don't know the answer, you can just pass it on to the next person so that we quickly do it. Then we do the COVID thing. Unmute yourself. Then
I think
okay, we pass it on to the next
person.
All right. Okay, Moses. So Public Order Act. What do you think about this particular notion and the point that Pilato raised? What do you think about the Public Order Act, and why do you think the government hasn't done anything about it? It's been over 100 days.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, I think the government has not worked on a Public Order Act due to some other issues. And may I say, maybe, if I'm wrong, a confusion maybe in the same.
Okay, so as a citizen, how do you feel about or rather, what do you think about the Public Order Act as a citizen? Is this a good or a bad thing?
It's a good thing, and on Pilato repealing of it requires a lot of time, because they need to go through that Public Order Act to see what thing are good, or what law is
so, Brother Moses, you're saying
the
Public Order Act is a good law for Zambia and for democracy. Do you know, by the way, what the Public Order Act entails and what's like what it affects, and just basically the limitations it has?
But I know, maybe I just don't know more about it, because there are something which they do repeal. You see, when they see that this clause, it is affecting the people of Zambia, there are some terms which they come up in the parliament to replace it with some suitable things which is able to help the people of Zambia. That's what I understand.
Mm-hmm. So according to you, the Public Order Act is a good thing, and we should keep it.
Keeping it, I can't agree or say no, because that's why I'm saying time has not been enough to this government to go through and see what good or what thing are good in that Public Order Act and what thing are bad, so that they can remove. That word repealing is removing something and replacing with something which can be helpful to the people of Zambia.
All
Yes.
right. Okay. Thanks, Brother Moses. Brother Jason, the Public Order Act. What do you think about this particular act, and how does it affect citizens and organizations, especially opposition political parties and just basically crowds? You can unmute yourself, Brother Jason.
Yeah, I think personally, yeah, I understand Public Order Act, you know, as an act actually that controls, yeah, the behavior of the people as the behavior of the the members of the public and even the political parties, because, you know, actually it helps to prevent some confusions whereby if a certain political party is in a certain area, they wouldn't go there and interfere. That Public Order Act will be able to protect them. And again, Public Order Act entails that whenever you want to hold a public rally, a public meeting, even my overnight, you know, you need to go and inform the police. You get the permit. You don't just have to go about and start doing those things. So
do you think that that's a good thing? That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, Brother Muna, for order, because if we repeal this Public Order Act, you know, it will mean it will be just a confusion. Anybody can just play music to the loudest noise they feel like, because it's not there. It's not
but
there.
Sir, this is the same act that the Patriotic Front was using against the UPND, because the UPND wasn't able to mobilize themselves and just basically be able to, you know, publicly campaign, because first of all they needed to get the permission from the police. They needed to go through a lot of bureaucracy, you know. So according to the UPND back in the day, they used to complain that the Public Order Act was disadvantaging them. And with regards to issues of mobilizing as a political party, an opposition political party, right, whenever you are telling the other competitors each and every move of yours, right, they're going to be obviously one up on you, and they're going to be able to, you know everything that you're going to be doing, and you're going to be disadvantaged. So with regards to democracy, the Public Order Act, which is, by the way, a clause, or rather an act that was made during the colonial days, way back in the days, you know, this is something that has been disadvantaging a lot of political parties. So anyway, I just wanted to put it out there so that people know exactly what we're dealing with. So,
Brother Muna, okay, let us debate on this same issue. What do you think yourself if we repeal this Public Order Act? Don't you think there could be a lot of confusions whereby a certain political party might not know that our friends are holding a rally this side, and thereby they meet in the end? You know, this Public Order Act, personally, I feel it is a good act, but it is just that unfortunately the previous regime, they had just to abuse this act. They abused it. But otherwise, in as much as controlling the confusion is concerned, I'm sure it is something good if it can be put to good use. Because
it was an issue of abuse, right? It was abused.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was abused. It was abused because all the system were encroached by the party, by the government. There were no independent body in Zambia. Look at the police system, the way it was abused. So if this order is not abused, even by the UPND, it is not something that can be removed, because even themselves, if they happen to repeal it without giving it a clear sense, it is going to put them into a lot of confusions, because party na ihodinga rally apa neinayo partner ikodingarali apa. Imagine such a situation. So I think that's what I can say.
All right, so Brother Jason, it seems one of our viewers, Nicholas Mutalema, agrees with you. He says the Public Order Act is a colonial act on par with the administrational systems we adopted. It was misused and misinterpreted by the previous administration. Evidence in its application are demonstrated by the recent UNZA student protests and the campaigns enjoyed by the opposition parties. So just according to you, right, it's just, it was abused, basically. Okay, so Brother Simkonde, you're up next. So what did you think about the Public Order Act? Quick fire, 90 seconds, we move on to the next point.
Okay, thank you very much. The Public Order Act, me, what I can say, this should be removed. First of all, we have to understand how this Public Order Act was introduced. When you go back during colonial days, when the Kaundas and the Masankumbala, they mobilized themselves so that they wanted to get independence. The white, they thought, no. To prevent these people to mobilize, let's introduce this Public Order Act so that those blacks, they will not have any say. They will not hold any public rallies. So now, that is a brief history to this Public Order Act. So now, when we go back during PF, when the PF was in the opposition, they complained about the Public Order Act. MMD abused this Public Order Act. Now, when the PF won election in 2011, they failed to remove this Public Order Act because by then they were in power. So for them, it was good to also, they started abusing the same Public Order Act. What they prevented is
that particular point, Brother Simkonda, before you go on, just hold on to your thoughts. It always seems that when a political party is in opposition, they are against the Public Order Act. But when they get power, right, they're like, oh, no, this particular Public Order Act is a very good thing. Because we saw that happen with the, PF, MMD, when the PF won, they were like, no, we need to keep this Public Order Act. But when the PF were in opposition, they were like, we need to get rid of it. The UPND were complaining about the POA when they were in opposition. Right now, we don't really hear a lot of things about the Public Order Act. So anyway, Brother Simkonda, continue.
Thank you very much. So now, the PF also used the Public Order Act to prevent the opposition to mobilize, because what they never wanted is to lose power. So now they say, what are we going to manipulate? Let's use the Public Order Act so that we prevent the opposition. That's why we saw Hakainde Hichilema was blocked. Whatever I wanted to go to Copperbelt, whatever was blocked because of who? They used the same Public Order Act. So now, the way forward, if you want our democracy to flourish, we need to remove this Public Order Act so that the opposition can have opportunity to mobilize. They can have opportunity to sell their manifestos so that as citizens, the voters, will have to choose which person are we going to vote for, not because of what happened. So me, what I can say that this Public Order supposed to be, we have to remove it. So I think the reason why they've taken so long, I think before removing, first of all, we have to study it so that we know if we remove it, what other law are going to put in place so that we prevent the confusion like the previous presenter talked about. So I think for that, it's only the ruling part who can answer that question. How far, when are they going to remove this Public Order Act? But if you want our democracy to flourish, this Public Order Act is supposed to be, we have to remove it. Thank you very much. I submit.
All right. Okay. So, Brother Oscar, quickly, what do you think about the Public Order Act? Unmute yourself.
Mr. Moon, I think before Mr. Oscar.
Yeah.
That's one concern.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, listen, my panelists. The thing we are talking about, let us not just let me give an example to UPND. We cannot talk about things which is suitable for UPND party. We are talking about things even if in the future for whatever, be it in opposition or to the entire Zambians, because we need peace. I just agree that this was just abused. We can have a good law, but we have a bad leadership. This is going also not to be okay for us. But the way we have seen, maybe having a good leader who understands, just like the president, I said to the police and other institutions, given them or commanded them to work on their own capacity to excuse their duties accordingly. That's what it should be. But if we say they remove these things, I don't see peace in the future, because we might be crashing one another, not campaigning freely. Maybe we just need to remove this law from the hand of the police. Maybe it goes to judiciary, so that whoever want to have a rally maybe might go there and get a permission. The judiciary looks to be at least different from what had happened this regime PF, I think.
All right. Thank you, Brother Moses, for chiming in. So, Brother Oscar?
I think my opinion is that it can just be made so clear. It's useful. It's useful because we need also to govern the assembly and other things which are contained in this Public Order Act. I would say that it was abused. It was abused, and it was it had a bad interpretation, very bad interpretation, and it was abused. Why do I say this? I give just an example. Look at the no third term. Panelists and Zambians, just reflect on that. You can imagine if they allowed our former president to stand for the third term, and they said, well, no, because that and that and that. So if there is somebody talked about the political will. If there is a political will, and if there is a person who love the country, some leaders, gentlemen, some leaders hate their people. Hakainde Hichilema loves himself first. He loves the country second. So we are in good hands. And Public Order Act, I think they can just correct something. Let the police, when they are informed. Well, this is what I wanted to underline. There was some sort of conflict. The Constitution allows freedom of assembly, Mr. Muna, isn't it? Our Constitution talks about the freedom of assembly. Then the Public Order Act was interpreted very badly, which refused the freedom of assembly of the citizens because they gave their own reasons. So I think they can just correct on that. It's not very bad, but it was interpreted very, very wrongly by mal-intentioned people. That is my opinion.
All right. Okay. So moving on to the next one quickly. Babi, how far with the national asset recovery? Are you going to keep this one, or you're going to pass it on to the next one? You can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself. You can pass it on to the next one if you don't like it. How far with the national asset recovery? Any progress? What do you think?
I think this one too, Mamuna, I think won't have a better word to say. I'll just pass it on to the other person who is ready to take it up.
All right. Okay. We'll get back to you, Babi. So, Brother Moses, asset recovery, what do you think?
Out of 10%, I think it's too if not 2.5% so
what
far.
evidence do you
Because
have for that? What evidences do you have for that?
it's only Fefi Musonda and also this liquidator
Milingo.
Yes, but there are some other cases which we have not even heard. So we need this, the government, at least to enforce and let us, public or Zambians, be given the information whatever is happening, because that is our money, that is the money for the Zambians. And that's why I stated earlier that that money can also help us to pay up the debts we are having at IMF. Panono. Thank you.
All right, thanks. So now, since we don't have a lot of time, let's go to the next question. So, how far with resolving the Mukula scandal? Brother Jason, what do you think about this one? Any progress? You can unmute yourself.
On the Mukula issue, the panelists and the viewers, I think I have no clear information whatsoever. I don't know how the minister of the minister of I don't know, the minister of the forestry, what they are doing. I don't know. I can't have I can't have relevant information that I can contribute on this issue.
Yes, that's a good one. Me too. I haven't heard anything with regards to Mukula scandals, because Mukula scandal will open Pandora's box. We heard Ama reports that were coming through. A lot of people are going to be implicated. So far, we haven't heard any type of intel. Anyway, moving on to the next one. How far with ending ZESCO load shedding? By the way, Brother Simkonda, today we had a reshuffle because Victor Mundende has been fired finally. So I don't really know whether that is a good thing or a bad thing. So do you think this will be able to end load shedding with the current reshuffle of the team at ZESCO? So Brother Simkonda, unmute yourself, then go for it.
Okay, thank you very much. I came across that that they have reshuffled. The former ZESCO director has been fired, and then they appointed the new one. So now resolving the issues of road shading. Okay. On that one, what I can say that I'm not really too sure that if appointing the new director, it will end the road shading, because what happens is that I think us Zambians, we have to plan properly. Yeah, looking at Zambian economy, the economy is growing, but is it ZESCO also growing in terms of power supply? That is another question. I don't know on that one. Because if we say that we end load shedding, which means that when the economy is going, which means the demand of power also is increasing. Is it ZESCO also the supplying of power also, is it increasing? If it's not, which means that even if that new director comes on board, then we will not end load shedding. Yeah, I think that is what you can say.
Profound. Okay, moving on to Brother Oscar. Your new question is, how far with youth representation in government as promised? Imisepela. Our opposition, let's hear your opinion.
Our opposition, they are satisfied, actually. We are going to give kudos to the government because there is some examples, spokesperson to the president. We have the payment. We have the DMMU guy. He's a youth. It's
plus
a
the
young
Eastern
man.
Province Mayor. The Eastern Province Mayor. I think he's the youngest one.
My goodness. Our president is a genius. He is a genius. Mr. Mona, imagine when the president said, many UPND people are asking me to go to DMMU. No, this gentleman, look at the decision. Fantastic. So I think he has a heart for the youth. We give him kudos and just an appealing to some of the youth, not only UPND but all the youth. We have a majority in Zambia. The youth are majority as compared to the elderly people. So for the youth, of course, a team to govern the country has a limited number. So let's support the president. Let him choose his team, and from not now, not next year, but I think 2 years from now, many youth will start benefiting. Unfortunately, it will take some time. We will not benefit next year. Well, that is just cheating. We are not going to tolerate. We, the opposition, we are not going to tolerate to lie to the Zambian people. We don't want to lie to the Zambian people, but it will take some time, to benefit. But the youth, they are going to benefit. Kudos for some of the nominees for the youth.
All right. Thank you, our opposition. Satisfied with that one.
Just there, Mr. Moon.
A quick one, Moses.
On Northwestern here, we have the DPS, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Naomi Tamashimba. She's the youth.
Okay, so you're concurring with our opposition, Brother Oscar. So good job to the UPND. They have done very well, right? Okay, cool. So moving on, Brother Babi. This is your question, Dada. How far with Napsa? Brother Babi, Brother Babi. How far with Napsa paying midterm benefits so that contributions don't have to wait till retirement to access their money? So this is a very important topic. Napsa contributions, because the UPND were saying, we need midterm benefits so that before retirement, some people can get half of their benefits instead of waiting until they reach the optimum retirement age. So what's the progress here, and what do you think? Have you heard Dakali Mbusha? What are your basic opinions? If no clue, you can pass it on to the next one.
Basically, I wouldn't lie. For now, I don't have any information on Napsa, Bamuna. I don't want to lie. Thank you.
All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're very honest. We love that. You're a very honest man. So anyway, Brother Moses, what do you think about this? How far with Napsa paying midterm benefits so that contributors don't have to wait till retirement to access their money?
No information, sir.
All right. Okay, but you can also give your opinions. Anyway, let's pass it over to Brother Simkonde. Any information about this, and what do you think about the suggestion?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, on the Napsa contribution and mid payments, I think in the afternoon I heard something from Mr. Just forgot the name. Yeah, so that is a good idea which they brought up to say that you can have access to your Napsa contributions if you want. Maybe you want to do a certain business, then we can go and withdraw from your Napsa contributions. Yeah, but in terms of the time they're going to implement it, I'm not sure on that one. But again, I was thinking that Napsa, looking at Napsa, like for the workers, they contribute every month toward Napsa. Me, what I was thinking, if they introduce something like to say, okay, let's break this into districts. Looking at, for example, like in a district, how many workers do you have? And these workers, they contribute Napsa. If they introduce like to say, okay, let's abolish this Napsa issue and introduce of buying shares. And they say, okay, in a certain district, you are going to come up with a certain industry so that the workers in that specific industry, when they contribute, that money goes toward that industries. So that when that industry start now functioning, workers, they are going to have shares in that same company. When workers retires, you will continue getting your dividend from that same company. Even if today I die, my children will continue getting dividend there. So there will be no issues to say my children, they will suffer, they will not go to school because I've certain shares in that company. So like if you say, okay, in all the districts, we're going to have a certain industry. Okay, this we're going to put maybe a milling industry be producing meal. This one are going to put a processing industry. So just like that. I think that is what I was thinking. Thank you very much.
Definitely. So just to add, before I pass it over to Brother Oscar, I really think the initial suggestions by the UPND were very brilliant. We need to have workers at least be given half of their benefits before they actually get to retire, because fingiv sticker to wafwa, and it also adds a little bit of motivation before you get your full package. So I would really love to see this introduced in Zambia, because it's just going to help people do a lot of things with their money, and it's going to boost the performance and the quality of services that we are going to be getting from our workers, because when they are able to at least get at least part of their retirement benefit, they're going to be able to make sure that they last long and provide the very best services. And you know, for at least they can be able to use part of their money if they've worked after or rather for a certain period of time. So I really would love to see this implemented as soon as possible. But Kuma Napsa, there's a lot of confusion that side. Napsa and a lot of banking institutions, there's a lot of trouble. This were one of those coffers that other previous governments were abusing, especially Kuma Napsa. So this should be another topic on its own. Anyway, Brother Oscar, quickly, what do you think about this particular question by Pilato? How far with Napsa paying midterm benefits to contributors? You need to unmute yourself.
I think it's one of those questions which are not very much urgent. Mr. Muna and the panelists, what is urgent for the country, first of all, is the question of our debts. The country has a lot of debts, and we are still to discover, the government is still going to discover other debts. ZESCO, you can imagine how much money ZESCO can never have debts, but ZESCO has debts. We can't understand how. With my logic, I fail.
Brilliant question. How does ZESCO have debt?
How can ZESCO have debts? It's impossible.
That should be a specific topic.
Yeah, it is.
It deserves attention.
Yeah, it is. So, first of all, I think the question of NAPSA, it's a very nice question. I would just say maybe it's not that urgent.
All right, we can move on to this question here.
Midterm, it's okay. It can also be introduced. It's all right. But to go for the pension, Zambia, what is important and what is urgent is to look at those big fishers who do not give permanent jobs to the youth. The people, they do contracts, 1 year, 2-year contract. And that means they do not accumulate money for their pension. There are people who have worked for 10 years and they have never accumulated the money for their pension because they do their contracts 1 year, 2 years, they take them away. And that is criminal, actually. Let the government comes with a policy to not allow any company to keep a worker, a youth at work for more than 1 year, for more than 2 years without giving him a permanent job. Thank you.
Brilliant submission, Brother Oscar. We've got a lot of topics to discuss here as our opposition in the future. But anyway, Brother Oscar, while we're at it, how far with paying farmers who supplied maize to FRA in 2021? And let's also briefly talk about the supplying of fertilizer, because we had with regards to who got the contract, these government people. So anyway, just give me your opinions on this one. Then we'll pass it over to Brother Babi. I hope you'll be able to come up with some points. Brother Oscar.
Paying the farmers, everything is complicated. I wouldn't love to be in the shoes of President Hakainde Hichilema and his government at this moment, because there's just too many scandals. Yes, too many scandals. So even those things, you know, the president are saying they did the contracts for a purpose of maybe coming back. And so they left a lot of mess. So even in these fertilizer scandal, many wrong things they did. So I don't know if the president, maybe if they are going to have money, if the president is going to find some money, he has that heart to pay them. But if he doesn't have money, then well, or if he can hoard, I think if there are some dubious means where how they had these contracts and how they gained these contracts, let the government freeze the payments until they can clear the situation, and later on they will pay them. But they can freeze. I think that's my suggestion.
All right, thanks, Brother Oscar. And then one more thing that we need to talk about is this government just entered, governance roles recently. So the issues that were caused by the PF, they'll take some time, because officially the 2022 budget will be sort of the UPND budget, but the one which is going to be for the UPND is going to be 2023 budget. So these things, I'm sure, they're going to be tackled a little bit later. So anyway, Brother Bobby, should we go to the next question, or you want to tackle this one? You can unmute yourself. Yes. Do we answer this one, or? All right, you're having problems with muting and unmuting. Oh, Brother Bobby. All right, Brother Bobby is having some issues. Okay, next question. How far with resolving the Forest 27 scandal? I think this one we don't need to talk about it, because Gary has given them the 28-day ultimatum. So that one is, well, let's wait. Let's give them time after 28 days, according to local government minister Gary Nkombo. Then we're going to get back to this, but I'm sure they're on track. So we'll see what's going to happen. So the last one, how far with meal allowances for students? Njala Vana. So Brother Bobby, is Brother Bobby here? Does anybody want to tackle this one, or we move on to the next one?
Mr. Mona, it depends on the budget. The meal allowances until the end of this year, I think it's difficult for the government to come out with the resources or some funds. But next year, in the next budget, I think the president would think about that. There is an intention. I understand that the government has intentions maybe to even bring back the meal allowances to the university students. That's my conclusion.
Right, and then they've also introduced free education from grade 1 to grade 12. So at least, even if the students didn't really get the meal allowances, at least the majority of Zambians were able to have access to free education. So that is that. So anyway, Brother Bobby, how far with arresting corrupt government officials?
Okay, thank you, Muna. I feel as things stands for now, the New Dawn government is trying to make follow-ups so that they do the necessary arresting pertaining to the cases that were, I mean, caused by the individuals in the previous government, in the opposition now. So I'm sure it's not something that is going to, I mean, be done overnight. It's something that needs time, as investigations are already underway. We're seeing the finding out of the 48 houses, which is just one thing that I can point out. They're trying to make follow-ups so that they can arrest all those that will be found wanting. that's a more reason why I think in the first topic, the earlier topics, like who are strongly requesting for the removal of immunity in from our opposition leader, so that investigations can be done thoroughly, so that proper arrests can be made to most of those that committed different crimes. That includes corrupt practices. So for now, we're still waiting. Though we've heard one or two arrests here and there, we're still waiting because we still expect more. Because we saw a number of cases being committed, corruption being practiced here and there. So we're still waiting, hoping that the current government is going to do something that people will be happy with at the end of the day. I think that's my take.
All right, thank you, Brother Bobby. You came through finally. Good. I'm kidding. The next one is for Moses. Moses, how far with women representation in government as promised? So, are you satisfied with the women representation in government so far?
Yes, I am. I can't complain much. Out of 10, it's 8.5.
Lovely,
Yes.
lovely. All right, okay. So moving on to the next question, Brother Simkonda, how far with arresting the killers of Frank Mugala, Nsamansama, and the lady's name I've forgotten. Yes. So how far with arresting, the killers of Frank Mugala, Nsamansama, and Vespers? Yes, Vespers.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, what I can say on this one is that I don't have much information, but so far now, I think there's no arrest toward these cases. So what I can say is that the investigating wing, I think they have to move in and start investigating these cases, and we need to find the killers of these, because what really happened, that was unacceptable. Yeah, losing someone's life, it's really bad. So yeah, so far I can say I don't have much information. I can say, since I don't have, I can say, okay, 5 out of 10.
I understand. All right, okay, thanks. Moving on to the next one. Brother Oscar, how far with telling citizens of Zambia who gassed them? Who gassed Zambians? Any word, any information, any progress?
We have the witnesses. My opinion is that we have the witnesses, and the witnesses are in the Patriotic Front. They have already given this information in the past. So to get to now reach the conclusion of this disaster, I think the witnesses are there in the Patriotic Front. They can just pick them up and ask them. Even GBM, I think, is one of those probably a candidate to give the confirmation to the people of Zambia, because they
allegedly
they allegedly say that they know the one who gassed the country. So I think the PF are very good candidates to tell the nation, and then they can pick them up. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So yeah, how far with resolving the issue of expired drugs? Anyone arrested? So this one goes to Brother Bobby. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Yes, Muna. How far with resolving the issue of expired drugs? Anyone arrested? So far, I haven't heard any arrests. If the arrest that has been made, I'm not aware of those. I'm sure the investigations are still underway, of which these people are supposed to brought to book, because I believe it was the government resources that were involved in in order for them to make these orders and all that. And this is the money that was supposed to be used by majority Zambians, and it ended up in other people's pockets. Of course, those that had a share in it. So we still just want to appeal to the current government to say, let it look into that matter. Let them work tirelessly to see to it that the individuals the particular individuals that were involved in squandering those government finances should be brought to book. I think for now I haven't had any arrests, so
All right.
we just waiting. We just waiting.
Thank you, brother Bobby. So, brother Moses, go for it.
Just there, I've had one arrest, which is the former permanent secretary for health. But I'm still not satisfied because may I say they were a clique of thieves. Not only one can be arrested. If they follow that channel, there are many. So let them.
We need the whole medical cartel to be brought to
yes.
book.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So moving on to the next one. I hope we're done. Okay. So I think we're done. So, brother Oscar, you really wanted to give us the COVID juice, the information, everything that we needed to know. So we are about to close this show. So, brother Oscar, pick it up and let us know what you need, what we need to know with regards to COVID.
With the COVID pandemic, it's an unknown enemy. We have an unknown enemy which we are fighting against. So even scientists, they differ on what medicine to give to the people, and that explains a lot. There is really a dark cloud behind this pandemic. And to explain why I say there's a really dark cloud, it's the variety of medicines to cure the same disease. Variety of medicines. Israel has its own drug, and Italy have its own. England, France, Germany, Russia, China, North Korea, United States of America. So you can imagine panelists and Zambians. That tells a lot. So we have many questions to ask whoever is behind this production of all these drugs and the like, and why they are hiding. Why are they hiding whatever things they are using to produce these drugs, so that even in Zambia, if they can tell us everything, the Zambian pharmaceuticals, they can also start producing. But why are they keeping the secrecy? It's a question. I don't know. I am not able maybe to give an answer, but I'm trying to just provoke and pose such questions. So the fact that they are hiding what is in the content of the variety of drugs to cure more or less the same disease or pandemic, it leaves a lot of doubts and questions. But after saying that, I am working at the hospital, and so I've seen these patients. I've seen how they die. Young people, especially after 40 years upwards, we have lost thousands, millions of people.
COVID-19 is very real because
real. COVID-19, gentlemen, it's real. It's really when it catches your vital parts of the body, that is the lungs or the heart or even the head, the brains, then we lose our beloved ones. We lose them easily.
Yes. By the way, brother Oscar, you've been vaccinated, because I recently got vaccinated. I got the Sputnik 5, the Sputnik V. That's the one that I got.
I have been vaccinated with the Pfizer, and I took all 3 doses. I've already taken the 3rd dose. We are given the 2 doses. Pfizer is given 2 doses. And I was given 2, and now recently they have been suggested, because working at a hospital, a delicate place, we have been advised to get even the 3rd dose. Why the 3rd? We don't know the enemy. We need really to be careful and try to guard our lives to save the others, and not also to endanger the people we are serving. And that is the reason why. We are even behind in Italy, because Israel, they have reached the 4th dose, Israel. And just looking at Israel reaching the 4th dose, I am trying to talk to myself, well, is it that somebody would like maybe to terminate our lives, or the hypothesis that they would like maybe to reduce the population? Well, people like Israel, the Jews are very good in this. I don't think they can really kill their citizens. But Mr. Muna, I think this is a question to ask also our government. Not knowing the content of these drugs, we find it very dangerous to give the Zambians different type of drugs, because we have received from Russia, from England, we have received from America different drugs, whereas here in Italy, they are giving them AstraZeneca if you want, or you choose Pfizer, or if you choose Johnson & Johnson. You have to choose. Well, there is a big question. What is inside the drug that have been administered?
This is a part where our scholars are supposed to come in. You know, government research-backed type of institutions are supposed to go to the Zambian people and say, we did so and so research. This is what we came up with. This is what we discovered. And these are the results.
Exactly. That is what is important for a nation. If Zambia does not have that capacity, then Mr. Mona, we are going to give the population whatever. We don't even understand what we're giving them. And it might be maybe this more or less close to the scandal at Ministry of Health. Can it be associated also to such a thing? Question mark. Okay.
Sorry for coming in. Mr. Muna, allow me to ask a question. Mr. Oscar, while you're still on the floor. I'm a safety officer working for this company. And of late, I was taught to sensitize the guys on site and encourage them just to go and get the jobs. Yeah. But unfortunately, or fortunately, there was this guy who took a first step to go and get the job, which is the Johnson. He got it, but I got surprised when he came back. There are those videos that used to I wouldn't really call them videos, but clips that were trending on social medias, where if one gets a job, then if you try any metallic thing, then they get electrically charged, something like magnetic. They've got some magnetic field and all that.
Yeah.
What is all that? Then the other question is,
gentlemen, we have to be careful, because we're not only talking amongst ourselves, and these are sensitive issues. So be careful with what you put out there and the conspiracy theories and all that stuff. We do not want to give wrong information to people. And I have to say that I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm not a professional qualified medical practitioner. So whatever information is going to be given out on this particular platform, obviously involve professionals, because people could spectate here, and we don't. We have to be careful, gentlemen, with what we talk about here.
I think that's why I'm saying we are fighting with a known enemy. This pandemic, this virus is not. We know that it is it's COVID. You know, it's a COVID and whatever they call it. What do they call it?
COVID pandemic.
Yeah, it has, I think, another name. Okay, we know that it is COVID. Yeah, COVID, yes. We know it is COVID. Even 100 years ago, I think.
SARS, is it SARS?
Yes, something like that. In the category of COVID was there. So it's not the first time. What is so complicated now is this enemy, it mutates and it continues mutating. And when it continues mutating, it makes all efforts become really difficult. So, is it true a phone can remain touched on your shoulders after the injection? It might be true. It might not be true. Is it dangerous? It might be dangerous. It might not be dangerous because they are just giving attempts, gentlemen, because people are dying. We cannot just wait to have an absolute clear and a convinced drug so that we start now injecting ourselves. There is no time. That is what is the important thing for the Zambians. There is no time. The Zambian scientists, they can start working on it. If we have some doubt, let the experts in Zambia work on it, come out with a conclusion remark which they can give to the Zambians. So I suggest we go for the injection for our safety and masking up and those things, masking up and distances, which in Zambia actually it is not followed. We don't follow in Zambia. We are not following it the way in Europe it is so serious. Anyway, here it is quite serious, and I think each and everyone cherishes his life, doesn't want to lose his life easily. In Zambia, the people that can work at the market, they go without a mask. They wear it very wrongly and putting yourself in danger. What, gentlemen, Mr. Muna, what I wanted especially to stress is this. The question of the Zambians, from the Zambians, why are you forcing the Zambians to get injected? The minister of the health minister said, well, we are not forcing, we are advising the Zambians to get injected. The minister clarified that question. But the fundamental point here is this. What happens to those Zambians who choose not to get vaccinated? I give an example of what is happening here in Europe. You are obliged to go and do the test, okay, the quick test. If you are working, I think here it was here the government was not very clear in this sense. They are doing their best, but they were not clear because they have also to govern those citizens who don't want to get vaccinated. Now, what indication do they give to those who don't want to get vaccination? It is not correct, according to me, to chase them away from government buildings and from public work. It's not correct. Why? Here, we are doing the same thing, but even those who are not vaccinated, they are going to work at a government place. Even in a parliament, they are entering into parliament. With what conditions? Here is the point. Getting tested, and according to the European scientists, when you get tested, you can stay for 48 hours without contracting that disease or without risking to contract it to your neighbor. So you are in the morning, even in the evening, the people, they go at pharmacies, they go at the hospital, they get tested, they are given the receipt that I am negative. Tomorrow I go and work at a government place, and after 2 days, I have to go back and get tested. So that is a solution, so that also these people who choose not to get vaccinated, they do not become a danger to the society. I think that is what I wanted to underline very, very much, because it's not also fair that we get injected and those other Zambians our brothers and sisters, they remain with that choice of saying, well, I don't mind. I don't want to endanger myself. But they look at us now. Well, how do they look at us who are injected? That's the point. I hope I'm a bit clear here.
Definitely. And one thing that we need to talk about is countries like Zambia and a lot of African countries cannot afford to experiment with herd immunity. Because if the government allows everything to remain as it were, there is a probability that this virus could wipe us out and it can bring a lot of danger and damage. We obviously saw what happened in Italy with regards to the virus, So if the government is not really strict and they do not really enforce or rather introduce, and let me not use the word enforce because that could be misinterpreted. So if they introduce, or rather if they do not introduce some sort of strictness, people are going to slack. People are going to become comfortable. And if this particular virus infiltrates our society, you already know how we conduct businesses in Zambia, our markets, our buses. It's going to really affect us and it's really going to cripple the economy. So here is about the greater good, and we cannot experiment with herd immunity. So, Brother Oscar, can you just give us a brief explanation of what herd immunity is so that the viewers can have like a better understanding of what herd immunity is?
The herd immunity in European and American standards is to try and vaccinate the citizens up to a certain percentage. Here they are talking about 70%. When you reach 70% of the population which get vaccinated, then you reach the herd immunity. It means in an area, probably people can endanger the others. They are very less in percentage. So here in Europe, they're using 70%. In Israel, they would pretend even to reach 85% of a herd immunity, which means they have vaccinated. In Israel, they have vaccinated up to now. In Israel, you can even go without a mask. They can go to a football pitch without a mask. You just keep the distance, that 1 meter distancing, it still remains. But why? Because me who is vaccinated, if I am contracted by the same disease, question, can I fall sick or not because I'm vaccinated? I can fall sick all the same. What is the difference? The difference is that virus is not going to attack me to death. Well, it would not attack me easily to cause death because I have the immunity in my body. I have the antibody, how do I call the fight? Yes. I can fight the disease, yes. The resistance, my resistance in the body is quite powerful. That is the advantage. Some people are thinking that when we get vaccinated, then you cannot feel sick. With this type of virus, which is complicated and it always mutates. And it mutates. So it becomes dangerous day after day. So what is the advantage of the vaccine? Nganalwala ine tayainkate amawu tayaikatewu nangu akamtima. Pakwati wangu kafiro kula pompashan. I think that is the importance of getting vaccinated. Ngatwalwalako efiliako, we can fight the disease much better than the others who are not vaccinated. So the immunity, the herd immunity is reaching such a percentage. In France, in Spain, in Germany, they are on 65% of the citizens vaccinated. Here in Italy, we are 70, so we are quite comfortable, and we might even celebrate Christmas without wearing a vaccine on the street. So Zambians, the more we can get vaccinated, I think we are far much behind Febena Zambia because we are 18 million and we have not yet reached, I
Yes.
think,
And Brother Oscar, mind you, Zambians have been getting vaccinations since childhood. Polio and a lot
yes,
of different vaccines. You've already gotten a lot of different vaccines.
yes,
So,
yes, yes,
so I
yes.
want to, people are just scared for no reason, but you've already
I
been
can,
vaccinated ever since you're
I can even show the Zambians now
Yes, measles, BCG, and all that stuff. Even when traveling to other foreign lands, you know, when you travel to another foreign land, they give vaccinations. Like usually, Abasungu, when coming to Africa, they get a malaria vaccination and so vaccines. There's nothing sinister about it. But of course, we need to get our professionals. We need to see Zambian professionals give us reports. Let them go into the labs and see what's in there. Because the other thing that a lot of people are apprehensive about is we're just getting donations. If you want to donate, so that's why maybe some citizens would be concerned.
That is a point. That is a point, Mr. Muna. That is another point.
Yes.
Just receiving donations, if we how can you start? Look at this logically.
Is not a chooser.
Yeah. How can I go and study the vaccine and say, muri vaccine so Zambia, this it depends also to my resources. I don't know ngana government president Hakainde Hichilema nga kwa fyo tundalama nga baweshako eshine bayibeshi nga baweshako nature yatuishitire. Let us go and buy our choice so that Muzambia nga twayashita mailo twasaba na bakainde nishi mwatushitire Johnson & Johnson moire maireshita nomba nga basatwe bati aho bali tupela fi. Who can be responsible? No one.
Definitely. And then research, R&D. Research and development. This is where the COVID advisor has to chime in and tell us the contents of all these different vaccines which were being given. We not just my instructions, go get this, go get that. We need to see actual researched proof and word from our medical fraternity. That's going to improve the confidence of Zambians, because I'm a Zambians, but because now I'm social media and stuff. But if you come through well-researched, I'm a Zambian professionals, people are they're not really going to be that apprehensive. But anyway, gentlemen, let's call it a night. We've been running for like 3 hours. I really hope you enjoyed today's question and answer type of session. It was very spontaneous. I love randomness. I love spontaneous things. I don't like doing mundane things and like the same things over and over. So if we can spice it up, we ask questions and just rotate like that, I think it's way much more interesting. So let's do our summary, give your conclusions, and say your goodbyes. So who's gonna go first? We're concluding
because I'm going.
Okay. So
all
brother,
right.
also 2 minutes.
Thank you very much to all the panelists. Thank you very much to the president for the stand he's taking. He's giving confidence and is giving hope to all of us Zambians. Not only Zambians, the way our president is working, soon or later, we are going to be an example in the southern region. We are going to be an example even to South Africa as a country, Botswana, Congo. These guys are going for elections in Congo, in Kenya, Zambia. The way we are doing things, I think it's going to be a model. So thank you very much. And we are hoping to be part and parcel of changing our country. President Hakainde Hichilema alone, he cannot change Zambia. He needs our help. That's why if we know it's not a volunteer to us, not a volunteer, ngatakuli opposition, we are ready to ally, to allow Hakainde Forest 27 na nomba funyeni mwe ifima sementi tafile fwai kamuda mule fwai kafyo tuna matrenda tule imfuko shire imbe mfuko mwafunyapo fisimenti takwa wapo kuno ku Italy forest doesn't have cement. A forest, it's a forest. Now, Yes, if forever na Zambia katuishi mwandini for child. So we have great hope. So I thank God and I thank the new nominees. Kudos to the new permanent secretaries, those in new positions. Kudos to those. And Zambians twalaka kakwelamba kwena fwe bashira kwato tuma chito bambi mwebali youth ama youth mwebali apa mwebashira kwata kono tu nchito kukaka kopa no ilamba. Let us help this government. They have good intentions and they have a political will. Thank you and good night, everyone. I embrace everyone and good night.
All right, have a great one, brother Oscar. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so who's going to conclude next? We call it a date. Who's going to go for that? Just raise your hand if you're ready to conclude and give us your last remarks. So, brother Simkonda, 90 seconds, unmute yourself, then conclude. Then we bid you farewell for tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you, the moderator, for the wonderful program. And my concluding remarks, I can say that us Zambians, let's give the support to our president. It's not only the president to do wonders, but it's us Zambians. Each Zambian who have a play to play in this country so that you see our Zambia going forward. So let us all involve so that we see the good thing that we want to see. Thank you very much and good night, everyone. Thank you very much.
All right, brother Simkonda, thank you for your contributions. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. So, brother Bobby.
Thank you, brother Muna. Thank you very much. Before I say my conclusions, Wamuna, ushe mwalikwata sheju ya ntonekane ya namatoxa, yeah? So
20 hours, but strachero almost. So 20 hours, 2015, 2020, between 20 hours na 2030. That's when we usually start. We're trying to work on the preciseness. By 8 hours to fure to amba, but could have sometimes my I'm hustling shani to a chero by, but by 2030 and nishi not to ingira mokari 2030 nishi not to by then. So between 20 to about 2030, expect us to find us here.
And this is done the whole week.
Yeah, you know, we'll be doing it as often as possible. Let's hope but we'll try to do it as often as possible.
Even better. Thank you very much for that information. I feel this is a very good platform, especially for those that are interested in discussing issues that different issues that are trending in our country. It's really helping one or two people out there. Thank you very much for all the panelists that took time and that are always taking part in these discussions. Otherwise, let us just continue doing good, because we are not only doing this for anyone else, but ourselves also. We would love to see a better Zambia, a better tomorrow, and it's through these discussions that we're able to come up with solutions in the different problems that we are facing as a country. Thank you very much, Wamuna.
All right, Bobby, we'll be waiting for you tomorrow. The same usual style. We have links in the description, and yeah, looking forward to you participating some more. Oh, okay. So have a good night. Finally, the last man standing, Brother Moses. Let you even close for us. They don't want I Saturday.
Thank you very much. I think I thank you to the president. I thank you to the vice president, and may I say all readers, and including those appointees, new appointees. Today they are enjoying Nakambo kuingira gasara. That's good. To the point of like this called Christian Forungo. Shatranda Popari. You see, these people were like clique of papas.
Clique of chicks. Clique of
yes,
insania.
yes. under the same category of Clique Of Thieves, but papas. It is very shameful for a man of God standing in that gap and start praising just a person. Anyway, to me, I cannot get surprised because in the Bible, when we read Daniel, the word Daniel there is a scripture which is telling us how those people by then made something so that every people should bow before, just like it happens here in Zambia for 18th October, national prayer. So there were a group of people trying to mislead the king by then. So even in this PF regime, there were these people, because of loving money, they had gathered and make that plan so that they can have a lot of money maybe from the president, which is not good. Let us not work like that. We are all Christian and we should read the Bible in truth. This is the Bible. Everyone should understand it, should read it, and the Holy Spirit will direct you, even me, and every Zambian to tell the truth. Because Bible does not have barriers. Bible explains truth, which we should believe in. So for those, I don't agree with them, and they are ashamed because whatever they were saying, the same man they were pointing at today is in State House. They are shattered, no more voice. So let us stand for the truth as men of God, or let's say servant of God. That's what I like. We are servants to work the work of God. Coming to the issue of Wadeki, SEC, these people, they can do well. They were just lacking someone to command them, to give them at least that free will to do on their own. Now, currently, we have a president. I hope through these 100 years, we are able to see some positivity, and we hope to see more. Let the president hear through this platform so that he also give them power to do the right thing. These people are not doing it to please the president, but to work for the Zambian people so that our country can be even counted to free corruption, free criminality, and some other issues, so that even this called Livingstone, what do you call, Mr. Moon? You can help me.
Which people, as in tourists?
Tourists, yes. They should have that interest, attraction to come into our country because it is peaceful. You see, we will be making money from that. We cannot just depend on mines. No, there are many sources of money. Then I wanted to find out, Mr. Muna, where does this money from the court of law, when they make, just like they caught maybe Faith Musonda, assuming he was taken to court and that it was a court which ruled that judgment. Now, failing to arrest him, to imprison, then they decided to pay that money. Where does that money go?
Yeah, so according to the information that we get, they just say the money was forfeited to the state, meaning government of Zambia got that money. So I guess it goes to the coffers. I'm assuming the money goes to the state. So the state, what does that really implement? Mean? It means it goes back to the public books, I guess. But I don't really know exactly what happens to the money. But the only thing that we know is the money is forfeited to the state. So let's say, for example, I'm a coffers yesungari 20 billion. If they get that money, I assume the money slightly increases.
Yes.
That's what I assume, but it's issue.
Yeah, even me, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out, because in if we have that money, let the government have strategy of maybe reserving that money somewhere. In Zambia, we have got a credit or what I can say in Konkola, like under IMF, quite 44, is it billion or whatever? Somewhere there, you can correct me.
All right, okay. I'm not really too sure the exact numbers. We're having numbers of 13 billion, 12 billion, but we are not really sure. So please, viewers, do your due diligence.
Together, it is coming like that. Then, if maybe we have 5 billion or whatever, we can start paying. Just like maybe Mr. Mpombo last time had issued here on that corner that Spain, Italy, there they had almost, is it 20? Not 20, 120 billion somewhere there to IMF, and they decided to start paying little by little until they complete that loan. So that's what we need to do as Zambians. We cannot just rely not Konkola, but we have a budget in place 2022. But ishindarama ture ikateshi shimbitule fumia kuli ba ababa neso bali ma offices ababa le mona kwati Zambia yonse yabo. This money can be paid or try to buy fine turerande fyama COVID-19 if twashitako fyomuti wesu wakuistira at least tirakairinga kona weti, but we are just receiving ku uyumuti wa COVID. We don't know. We have got a advisor there wa COVID. We don't know whether we have got now expertise doctors who can test umuti pamuti so that batwebo uyumuti pali ifyonse twapokerera usuma nyoyo so that twabeba balabe na batupereko batupera kwenga kutupera. If inga twafa mucharo chesu. This is our country. We should have the heart of our country just like the president has. In doing so, everything will be okay. Let us go. I am a Zambian proudly. Na konseko ndeya na imwe ni mwe bali ukobena muna okomule umfobwino. At least when you go I'm a Zambian. Kule chitika kofimo mucharo chesu if yakwe bati na ifwe trade boast ukuli konse. Yes. We cannot just be boasting about minerals na ena baretu ibira. Tatule kwata muna mashare bwino. No. I think
All right, okay, brother Moses. I'm glad that you removed Fionsefia Komotima. You removed all those things that you were bottling up for a very long period of time. So this is good therapy for a lot of us. So thank you very much. So as usual, Moses will link up in the WhatsApp group. As usual, tomorrow 8 p.m. Zambian time will be here. So thank you. Have a great night. Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was our discussion for today. I really hope that you enjoyed that one. So we are the community TV station, and of course we try to remain as objective as we can, and we are forever going to be non-biased, and we are never ever going to be bootlickers, because that's not really how we are set up to be. The other thing that I really wanted to ask of you right now is, I understand there's a few, or rather there's quite a number of you watching me right now. I really hope that you had your coffee, you had your little bit of alcohol by the side while watching us, because our episodes are very long, because we've been running for about 3 hours, so whenever you're watching Z Corner, either have some coffee or you can have a little bit of something, if you know what I mean. So anyhow, kindly share this video on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook groups, because that really allows us to grow, and it really helps us to get motivated, because we are doing this for the Zambians and people who basically love Zambia. And we are receiving a lot of comments with regards to non-Zambians who do not really understand Bemba or all the several different languages that we have in Zambia, right? A lot of foreigners who are interested in Zambia are watching us, and most of the times, right, we usually mix. We usually go either into some local language, and they're like, hey guys, we do not really understand what you're talking about right now because we mostly understand English. And this is one of the reasons why I would love to urge my panelists to stick to English. But you know how it is, people feel obligated to use whatever language they are comfortable with. So I do understand. So we have like some sort of dilemma with regards to, you know, pleasing everybody. But we're trying our best. We're trying to use a language which is vastly understood by everybody. So this is one of the reasons why, you know, sometimes you have to be mindful and remember that not only Zambians who were born and bred in Zambia are watching us, because there's a lot of people who are watching us. And when we go into different native languages, a lot of them really get pissed off. So we're going to try to improve that. But of course, we're very comfortable. Like personally, I'm comfortable speaking local Zambian languages, but I also do understand that we've got an international appeal and we need to satisfy everybody who's watching us. So that's something that we are probably going to be solving a little bit later. So thank you very much for being part of Z Corner, and I genuinely appreciate your effort with regards to withholding the dignity of this particular platform, because you guys could be doing anything else in the world, but you decided to be here with us with Z Corner. And I really appreciate each and every comment that you give us, because that is very profound, it's very powerful, and it's very encouraging. So I really appreciate all the contributions that you guys give us through your likes, through your comments, and all that good stuff. And today, I received a number of messages because for the past 2 days we weren't able to live stream because I was a little bit down. I was sick. Right now my ear is still paining because of some certain things, and I recently got the COVID vaccine. So a lot of you were reaching out to us saying, you know, Vazet Corner, where are you guys? We kind of miss your live stream. So it's very humbling, and I'm very humbled, and all my panelists are also humbled to know that we have become part of your daily routine, whereby you come back from work and you just want to like you know, unwind with Z Corner and just find out what's happening in Zambia. So to be honest, I'm really humbled and I'm really happy that you guys are part of Z Corner, and we really want you to continue supporting us, and we're going to stay as objective as possible. And if you are bootlicking is never really going to be part of us. So, you know, we're just going to stay true to our fan base. And the reason why you guys love us is because we are objective. So that's what we're going to, you know, stick with. And we're going to make sure that that continues as long as possible. So anyhow, without further ado, thank you very much for being part of Z Corner. And let me give you another quick reminder. Kindly share this video right now on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook groups, because it does keep us motivated. So we will be back tomorrow with another live stream at 8 p.m. Well, 8 p.m. between 8 p.m. and 8:30. So usually Zambian time, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we're trying to abolish this Zambian time, you know, this spirit of being late, but we're working on it. But usually 8 p.m. between 8 p.m. to about 8:30 p.m. we are usually live. So we'll be back again tomorrow with another episode. So have a great day, be awesome, and God bless you. So enjoy your day.